Outside, he is a well-known, respectable president of a publishing house. In private, however, he is an ascetic madman to the extreme. Myung-ho has run up a huge debt and has no choice but to go to his old friend Kyung-woo. He never expected that once he went, he would never again escape from the palm of his hand. Kyung-woo's expression completely changed, and the moment he came up, he used his fists to greet Myung-ho. He said coldly that he holds grudges, looking down from on high at Myung-ho, who had been beaten to the ground. The man laughed like he was having a fit. "You've finally fallen into my hands. From now on, you're mine." Beaten until his whole body ached, Myung-ho crawled on the floor with difficulty, only wanting to get away from this devil. He tried to escape, but the next second his ankle was grabbed by Kyung-woo, who viciously dragged him back. Myung-ho curled up in pain, trembling uncontrollably, as if everything was perfectly to the man's liking. Kyung-woo had long guessed that Myung-ho came only because of his debts, and forced him to see how wretched he was now. Seeing how utterly miserable Myung-ho looked, the man instead became even happier, like a pervert who found him even cuter. He chuckled low and said that Myung-ho was very cute. "It's exactly this pitiful look that suits you best. It's exactly this pitiful look that suits you best." As he spoke, he yanked Myung-ho over, clamped him down hard, and brought something down toward his face. "You'll just stay by my side for the rest of your life and go on being miserable." The only thought left in Myung-ho's mind was, "As long as I get the money, I can start over." He forced himself to calm down, telling himself this level of things was nothing. But the man's next move threw even his breathing into chaos. Myung-ho finally lost control and shoved the man away. Clenching his teeth, he demanded what that was supposed to mean, then shot back at Kyung-woo. "You obviously knew I would come, and you still treat me like this?" Myung-ho glared hard at the man, his voice turning cold. "Pay me first." Looking at the pitiful Myung-ho, the man, for some reason, suddenly burst out laughing. "Money? Huh?" The man laughed again. "Money? Huh? Sure, it's just money, isn't it? However much you want, I'll give you, but I'm in a bit of a hurry right now, so I need it now." Myung-ho was roughly shoved to the ground by the man. The torment was unusually cruel, and his self-esteem was trampled to pieces again and again. His relationships completely collapsed, and his career was ruined as well. On top of that, I'm buried in debt. After my brother left, you were all I had left. As soon as he finished speaking, he slammed another punch into Myung-ho. No matter how he tried, Myung-ho just couldn't understand why he had to treat him like this. He had thought there would be a reason, but there wasn't. The man simply hated him for no particular reason. 7 years ago, a few people were anxiously waiting together for the competition results. To everyone's delight, Duna won the grand prize, while everyone was congratulating Duna. The man, however, noticed that Myung-ho was sitting there alone, crying, like he was hiding away, secretly crying on the rooftop. That appearance was also seen clearly by the man. Since then, every night he would think of Myung-ho. After hearing this, Myung-ho trembled even harder. Even if everyone hates you, I still won't abandon you, so don't worry." The man's sick confession did not move Myung-ho. All Myung-ho wanted was to escape this devil immediately. In the end, unable to endure the torment, Myung-ho directly fainted. With a satisfied look, the man said, "Sweet dreams, Myung-ho Hyung." To prevent Myung-ho from running away, the man locked him up with a chain. Myung-ho was woken by a burst of noise. As soon as he opened his eyes, he saw a blurry figure, busy in the kitchen. Who is that? He couldn't remember anything that had happened before. Where is this place? And why am I here? Myung-ho only felt sore all over. Gritting his teeth, he struggled to sit up. With a clatter of the iron chain, only then did Myung-ho lower his head and see the thing on his neck. What is this? A chain? No, a collar? A sharp pain suddenly shot from the wound on his leg, and Myung-ho collapsed back onto the bed, letting out a muffled groan of pain. Those scenes rushed back into his mind frame by frame. Myung-ho finally understood what had happened. The next second, as if he'd lost control, he reached up to tear at the collar on his neck. But no matter how he struggled, the collar didn't budge in the slightest. Nothing changed. The trapped Myung-ho was furious and powerless, shaking with hatred, wishing he could personally kill Kyung-woo. "What do you want?" The man held the meal, stood at the door, and watched Myung-ho with a smile. "Being able to see you cry is great, Hyung." Driven to the limit of his rage, Myung-ho grabbed the desk lamp in one snatch, raised his hand and smashed it at him, but the man easily dodged it. Myung-ho cursed him out, calling him a lunatic and telling him to take off the collar immediately. The man, however, showed no reaction at all, only calmly telling Myung-ho to calm down first and eat. Being treated like this, how could Myung-ho possibly calm down? The man brought the food to his lips to feed him, but Myung-ho turned his head away, his whole body radiating refusal. The man's expression instantly darkened. He yanked Myung-ho over. If you're hungry, then eat. Is that so hard? Is it so hard? I really don't know what to do with you. With Myung-ho's lips pressed tightly together, the man simply gripped his chin hard. He forced his mouth open and shoved the food in. You can't leave this place. After speaking, the man clamped a hand over Myung-ho's mouth to keep him from spitting it out, and Myung-ho could only let out muffled sounds. The man forced Myung-ho to live with him, saying that anyway it wasn't really a bad thing for Hyung. Myung-ho wanted to retort, but couldn't get a single word out. He could only swallow mouthful by mouthful the food the man fed him in humiliation. After the meal, the man even carefully peeled some fruit and held it to his lips, saying softly, "Come live with me. Go, you don't have anywhere to go either. I'll pay off your debt for you and even give you pocket money. You just have to give me your own, to me." Myung-ho glared at him fiercely and cursed through gritted teeth. "You lunatic, I already said I don't want it." He smacked away the fruit that was being handed to him with a smack. "You treat me like this and still want me to stay here, chained up like a dog. I'd rather die. Just seeing your face makes me sick." After he roared, the wound on his leg was tugged, and Myung-ho let out a stifled groan of pain. "Does your ankle hurt? It doesn't look very good. An injury like this is hard to fully heal." Myung-ho thought he was showing concern, but in the next second, he pressed a small knife against Myung-ho's calf. "Then let's just cut it off. A demon is a demon, after all." Myung-ho stared at the man in terror. "Ha." The man's expression changed again in an instant. "Lu Jia," Myung-ho said. "I was joking. Don't look at me like that. Come on, don't look at me like that. Come on, I have to go to work now, so you stay home and behave." The man motioned for Myung-ho to lie down and rest. Watching the man's departing back, Myung-ho trembled with anxiety, desperately begging him not to leave. "Cha Kyung-woo, take off the collar. Hurry, Cha Kyung-woo." But the man didn't even turn his head. He just shut the door and locked Myung-ho alone inside the house. Myung-ho gritted his teeth and inched step by step from the bed to the bathroom. He raised his hand and reached into his throat. He forced himself to throw up everything he had just eaten, then swore to himself he had to get away from that lunatic, Cha Kyung-woo. He was clearly the one who had personally pushed Myung-ho into the abyss, yet he still said he would treat him well for the rest of his life. The man returned home with a look of anticipation on his face. As soon as he entered, he started looking for any sign of Myung-ho, wanting to know what he was doing. "He definitely won't be sleeping like a good boy. He's not going to start throwing things at me again, is he?" The man chuckled lowly and casually pushed the door open. "Hyung, He hadn't even finished speaking. At a glance, he saw that the room had been turned into a complete mess, and the walls had been badly smashed. It was obvious that, in order to break free, the man had thrashed around like a madman. The man stood in the middle of the room and, turning his head, saw Myung-ho lying obediently in the walk-in closet. As if finally reassured, he crouched down, covered his face, and burst into frantic laughter. "Wow, that's impressive. With your ankle hurt like that, you still had the strength to fight back." The man walked over and asked why Myung-ho was sleeping here. Then he also crouched down, softened his voice, and called to him quietly. "Hyung." Myung-ho let out a pained hum. The man raised his hand and felt his forehead. He was burning up so badly it was terrifying. In the next second, Myung-ho was carried back to the bed. He placed a towel on Myung-ho, gently patting his forehead and cheeks. "How Hyung? Are you okay? I'm patting you. If you don't lie still like a good boy, of course you'll get a fever. You wouldn't lie down like you were told, of course you ended up with a fever. Get up and eat and take your medicine. No need. Even like this is fine." Myung-ho was still very resistant to the person in front of him, and the man warned in a low voice, "You'd better behave and do as you're told. Or do you want me to feed you myself?" Faced with the man's naked threat, Myung-ho could only glare at him in silence, and in the end still sat up to take the medicine. The man clearly explained, one by one, what each of the medicines was. He reminded Myung-ho again to get some proper rest later. With his head lowered, Myung-ho told the man not to pretend to care about him. But the man replied very calmly, "I've been caring about you all along." After taking the medicine, Myung-ho quickly fell into a deep sleep. The man didn't say anything, just sat quietly by his side and lifted the quilt. He lowered his head and glanced at that already bandaged calf. Then, moving very lightly, he lay down beside Myung-ho. He tucked the edge of the quilt back in, stared at Myung-ho's sleeping face, and murmured softly to himself, Why did you have to get sick? If you hadn't run away, I wouldn't be like this either. After saying that, he reached out and gently stroked Myung-ho's face, then lowered his voice again and said, "I'll be good to you." The next morning, the man was already up, and his clothes were perfectly neat. He reached out to feel the temperature of Myung-ho's forehead. Fortunately, the fever had gone down. "See you later." With that, he bent down and dropped a kiss on Myung-ho's cheek. Myung-ho frowned deeply and let out a pained groan. With his mouth mumbling Duna's name, he called out indistinctly, and the man's back clearly froze. He turned his head and didn't say a single word, just looked at Myung-ho, who was still asleep. Then he hooked his lips again and said softly to Myung-ho, "I brought you a present today." In the evening, he got off work and came home. When the man pushed the door open, he clearly froze for a moment. Seeing Myung-ho so exhausted he could hardly breathe, the movement of the man's hands also stopped. "Don't you ever get tired? I take such good care of you, and you still want to run away. You want to go out that badly?" Myung-ho asked the man to unlock the chain, but the man coldly refused. He was afraid that Myung-ho would run away. That was exactly why he had chained him up. To keep Myung-ho from staying angry, the man took out clothes and shoes he had specially bought for him. He put on a fawning expression, but Myung-ho didn't even lift his eyes. He raised his hand and slapped the man's hand away. None of this was what Myung-ho wanted. What he truly wanted was money, and then to leave this place, to never see Kyung-woo again. The man's face, which had still been smiling a moment ago, instantly darkened. Without another word, the man pinned Myung-ho down on the bed, his fingers clamping fiercely around his neck. "I know you don't like me. I won't force you, but you eat my food, wear my clothes, and live in my home. Once you leave here, what do you have? You have nothing at all. What can someone like you do out there? What I'm giving you is exactly what you need, and right now, I'm the only one willing to give you these things. Why won't you take it?" The man's fist slammed hard into Myung-ho's stomach. Punch after punch, the pain made it almost impossible for him to breathe. "Don't want it? Why don't you want it? What right do you have to refuse me? You clearly need me. Think it through carefully. You need me." The man screamed at Myung-ho like he'd lost control. "You really can't see your own situation, can you? Hasn't Hyung * treated you well enough?" As he spoke, he yanked the iron chain and roughly dragged Myung-ho into the walk-in closet. "Take a good look at yourself now. Besides me, who would ever like you? And you don't have anywhere else to go, only here. You're mine. Aside from me, no one will want you." The man seemed to know exactly how to manipulate people, forcing Myung-ho step by step to open his mouth and promise he would stay here. After tormenting Myung-ho enough, the man finally got the promise he wanted, and only then did he unlock the chain. Myung-ho obediently lay down in the bathtub, and the man said, "I'll help you wash your face." "No need." Myung-ho refused without even thinking. But after hesitating for a moment, he changed his mind. "No, you do it for me." "Right, good, that's how you should be." The man was very satisfied with Myung-ho's reaction. Then he reached out and, with very gentle movements, washed his face for him. A chill spread in Myung-ho's heart. As long as he goes along with him, will he stop getting beaten? The man bent down and gave Myung-ho a kiss, then reminded him to behave and stay put after he finished his bath. Myung-ho changed into the new clothes the man had bought him. The man, who was cooking, took one look and praised him, saying the clothes really suited Myung-ho. "As expected, I chose right. Come over and eat." The man had already set all the dishes out on the table. Supporting himself against the wall, Myung-ho hobbled over slowly, step by step. Then there was a loud smack. He failed to brace himself and crashed heavily to the floor. The pain made him tremble all over, and the man immediately put down what he was doing and hurried over to help him up. The injuries were too serious, so Myung-ho gritted his teeth and asked the man to take him to the hospital. He even added, "I promise I won't run away." "Why? If you can walk like this, that's good enough, isn't it?" The man's meaning was far too obvious, and all Myung-ho could do was curse silently to himself. "Bastard, you're the one who hurt me." The man told Myung-ho to finish eating first, then clearly state how much he owed so he could pay it back bit by bit. Myung-ho couldn't figure out why the man wanted to do this, but he didn't say anything. He'd been hungry for too long and could only wolf the food down mouthful after mouthful, while the man kept staring straight at him. After the meal, the two of them went through the money Myung-ho owed once more, thinking that was all of it. Haltingly, Myung-ho said, "These are just the interest." "All interest? Just how long have you dragged this out?" The man was momentarily stunned. While the man was making the repayments, Myung-ho turned his head and looked out the window. Before long, the man had settled all of the debts in full. Happy, the man looked at Myung-ho with a smile. Myung-ho stared blankly at the repayment information, unable to believe it. He had actually paid it all off so easily. He couldn't tell why, but he felt even more uncomfortable inside. The man reminded Myung-ho. He had helped Myung-ho pay off his debt. It was because Myung-ho had agreed to stay here, and whatever he wanted, the man would buy it for him. With his head lowered and his mind in chaos, Myung-ho finally couldn't hold back and asked, "Why, HM?" The man froze for a moment and looked at Myung-ho in confusion. "Why are you so good to me? Do you want me to fall for you?" As soon as the words left Myung-ho's mouth, the man's eyes widened in shock, and he almost choked on the coffee he had just drunk. Cough, cough. Yet in the next second, he couldn't help but burst out laughing, unable to stop. Myung-ho just looked at him quietly like that, not saying a single word. "You're really good at flirting." The man slowly closed in on Myung-ho. "As long as you're by my side, I don't care about anything else at all. If you want to like me, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. Like me or not, it's up to you." It was as if the man was doing it on purpose, his tone carrying a hint of teasing. After a fierce round of sex, the man straightened his collar and cuffs, getting ready to go to work. Exhausted from being ravaged, Myung-ho was still asleep. "Young, Myung-ho Hyung, wake up." Hearing the man's low, soft call, Myung-ho slowly opened his eyes. "I'm heading to work. Get up for a second. Look at me. Say hello, then you can go back to sleep." Myung-ho was so sleepy that he could hardly keep his eyes open and looked at the man hazily. "See you tonight." The man bent down and kissed Myung-ho on the cheek. "See you tonight." The man bent down and kissed Myung-ho on the cheek. Be good at home and take good care of the house." Loneliness, sorrow, and despair swallowed Myung-ho all at once. He finally broke down and couldn't stop crying. He didn't know when it had started raining heavily outside. Myung-ho curled up alone on the sofa, staring at the TV. Every day he repeated the same things, and he had long since lost track of what day it was. When Kyung-woo came back then, when he wasn't home, there was only Myung-ho left. Was he going to live like this forever? Myung-ho felt like he was about to go crazy. Just then, the man came home from work. He had even specially bought some tasty food for Myung-ho. He said, "You've lost weight and that you have to eat more." Hesitating, Myung-ho asked the man if his phone was with him. He wanted to get his phone back. "HM, what is it?" Myung-ho hurried to add, "I won't contact anyone. I just want to kill time." "Then why do you have to have a phone?" The man shot back. "You don't have anyone you can contact. Having a phone will make you want to go out. It's bad for you." The man sounded so matter-of-fact. Seeing how firm his attitude was, Myung-ho didn't back down either. He stubbornly insisted on getting his phone back. The man's face, however, remained expressionless. The man stared straight at Myung-ho for a few seconds, then finally took out the phone. "I told you, this isn't good for you. Do you want to know the text message that was sent to you?" The man paused. "The one from Young-hoon Hyung." Myung-ho couldn't believe it. His eyes flew wide open. Word by word, the man read the message out loud. The text said, Myung-ho had plagiarized Young-hoon's article. Even so, Young-hoon said he could understand Myung-ho, but he still couldn't forgive him, and only hoped they would never meet again. The man looked at Myung-ho and asked if he still wanted to hear the other messages. "The next one," the man said, "is from your father." Myung-ho exploded, knocking the phone out of the man's hand with a slap. Fueled by anger, he rushed forward and grabbed the man by the collar. But the next second, he saw that phone, already broken almost beyond recognition. Together with the facts written in those messages, Myung-ho's emotions were pushed right to the edge. He couldn't hold on anymore. In pain and trembling, powerless, he collapsed to his knees. He clutched his head and, forcing down his voice, began to cry. Early the next morning, when the man was heading out to work, he specifically reminded Myung-ho not to forget breakfast. Sitting alone on the sofa in a daze, it was a long time before Myung-ho finally forced out a faint Hearing this reply, the man stood at the door and stared at Myung-ho for a long time. He suddenly curled his lips into an enigmatic smile, then closed the door and left. Myung-ho felt as if all his strength had been drained, collapsing onto the sofa. His whole body was so exhausted it was about to fall apart. He recalled what the man had said last night and the text message his father had sent. What could it be about? Scenes of past quarrels with his father surfaced one frame after another. Clearly, he was earnestly pursuing literature, yet he was mocked to his face by his classmates. And there was that sentence from his senior, "I can't forgive you," as well as his girlfriend's tearful complaints, and that total lack of understanding. These humiliating memories slammed into Myung-ho again and again. Is it all my fault? I have nothing left around me. It's all my fault. His mind was crammed full of sorrowful things, which made it impossible for Myung-ho to fall asleep. Loneliness, sadness, despair. Myung-ho felt as if he were being swallowed bit by these negative emotions. Since there was no one else around anyway, Myung-ho finally burst into tears. While Myung-ho was still mired in sorrow, the light suddenly came on, and he visibly jumped. The man hurried over, calling out Hyung as he came. He explained that something urgent had suddenly come up at the company. That was why he came back late. Looking at the man who had suddenly come closer, Myung-ho was stunned. I didn't want to leave you alone for so long either. I'm really sorry. As the man spoke, he pulled Myung-ho into his arms. I'm sorry. The man raised his hand and gently patted Myung-ho's back. Still unable to calm his emotions, Myung-ho simply leaned obediently against the man's shoulder. Go in and sleep. I'm not going to do anything to you today. The man gently wiped away Myung-ho's tears. When they lay down on the bed getting ready to rest, the man asked if Myung-ho wanted to go shopping tomorrow. They could go for a drive, eat something tasty, buy whatever he wanted. He just hoped Myung-ho could be a little happier. Myung-ho was very surprised that the man would actually let him go out. I'm not working tomorrow, we'll go out and have some fun together. For now, just sleep well. After he finished speaking, the two of them leaned against each other and slowly fell asleep. Taking advantage of the fact that Myung-ho wasn't paying attention, the man cupped the back of his head with his palm and leaned in to give him a sudden kiss. Only then did Myung-ho react. He was so startled that he pressed himself hard against the car door. Ha! But the man just burst out laughing at his reaction. The man simply drove like that, taking Myung-ho out shopping. It was obvious that he was in an excessively good mood. Myung-ho turned his head to look at the man. No matter how he thought about it, he couldn't understand why the man's attitude had suddenly become completely different from before. What's with you all of a sudden, The man spoke lazily, a lollipop in his mouth. Weren't you the one who didn't want me going out? You haven't let me go out at all recently. Why the sudden change? The man stared at the worried look on Myung-ho's face. He couldn't help deliberately teasing him. Look over there. As soon as he finished, he snapped his fingers, forcibly drawing Myung-ho's gaze away. The next second, just as Myung-ho turned his head back, he was caught by the man right on the spot. The man grabbed the back of Myung-ho's head and kissed him again. Ha! 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 Myung-ho was so frightened that he pressed even harder against the car door. Ah! The man couldn't stop laughing at his intense reaction. The man laughed until he couldn't stand up straight. Then the two of them went to the mall he often visited, where the sales clerk greeted them enthusiastically as soon as they met. I want to buy him a suit. Help me pick one. The man paused. One size smaller than mine, and match it with a watch and also glasses. After the man finished instructing item by item, Myung-ho changed into the carefully selected suit. The man then carefully combed his hair, praising him generously. It really suits you. You look really good in this. He reached out to take the glasses the salesperson handed over. I've always been curious. Myung-ho looked at him. Your eyesight is so good. Why do you wear glasses? The man gently put the glasses on Myung-ho. My students say I look too young. With just one sentence, Myung-ho made the man bend over laughing. Ha ha ha, so cute. The two of them then picked out watches for a while longer, looking through almost all the brands. When the man asked which other model he wanted to see, Myung-ho said these were enough. Such expensive watches, before, he wouldn't even have dared look at them too much. Do you really like this watch? Are you having fun shopping? All Myung-ho felt was that the man was giving him far too much. The man raised his hand, the pad of his finger gently brushing across Myung-ho's cheek. Don't think that way. As long as you're willing, I can buy you something even better. The man said he had noticed Myung-ho seemed very depressed recently, so he wanted to cheer him up a little. Just as the two of them were about to leave, the salesperson suddenly came over and said that Kyung-woo's younger brother wanted to see him. The news was so sudden that both of them froze. The salesperson had thought they had made an appointment long ago, but in fact they had not at all. The man knew very clearly in his heart that this was his younger brother's little ploy to see him. He immediately pulled on Myung-ho to leave. It wasn't in our plans, but let's just go home and eat. So Myung-ho had no choice but to go along with him, limping and hobbling to keep up with his pace. Myung-ho could clearly sense that the man's mood was off, and there was also a sudden sharp stab of pain in his leg. At this moment, the younger brother who had rushed over looked at the two of them from behind as they walked away. He quickly called out, Hyung! Then he hurried to catch up. I finally found you. Even though he was unwilling, the man still turned around and greeted his younger brother with a smile. The younger brother stared at the man with a hint of complaint and asked why he hadn't answered his phone and why the company couldn't reach him. The man explained that he had indeed been a bit busy recently. Is he your friend? Hello. I'm Kyung-woo, Hyung's younger brother. The younger brother moved up to introduce himself to Myung-ho, but what Myung-ho thought was, These two don't look alike at all. The two brothers immediately started arguing over the issue of the family inheritance. The man, however, acted as if he didn't care at all. But the younger brother stared at the man and said coldly, "You're the only child of the legal wife." Stunned, Myung-ho had no idea what that sentence was supposed to mean. But after the man heard this, his emotions clearly jolted. The two of them stared at each other in silence for a few seconds, and the man, suppressing his voice, said they should go somewhere else to talk. Watching them fall out on the spot over family matters, Myung-ho had always thought wealthy families would all be very happy. But now it seemed that wasn't necessarily true. Myung-ho stood quietly to the side by himself, and a thought suddenly flashed through his mind. Wait a minute, I never thought it would turn out like this. Isn't this the best chance to run away? But can I really run? What if I get caught and dragged back? He'll lose control again. If that happens, will he ruin my other leg too? It shouldn't go that far, right? Myung-ho instantly deflated. As long as I behave, he won't lay a hand on me. But the moment that thought appeared, even Myung-ho himself shuddered in fear. What do you mean? If I behave, he won't lay a hand on me? How could I think that? I really am crazy. He noticed the man turning back to look at him from time to time, and the younger brother finally couldn't help asking, "Do you care about him that much? Why do you keep looking at him? You two are close, right?" The man responded flatly, "He's just someone I know. I only hope he won't bring up family matters in front of outsiders next time." When it came to the matter of inheritance, the man made it clear he would not fight his younger brother over it. The younger brother only smiled more coldly. "Your mother doesn't think so. Go back and have a proper talk with your mother. Tell her not to be so greedy." Leaving those words behind, the man walked off alone. When it came to the family's affairs, the man didn't want to get too involved, but his mother never asked for his opinion. Everything felt like it was being pushed forward, beyond his control, and he was powerless to stop it. The man turned his head toward where Myung-ho had been just now, only to see the seat was empty. He rushed over at once, staring at that empty seat to make sure he wasn't mistaken. Just as expected, the man's gaze darkened as he started searching the surroundings for any sign of Myung-ho. He did not overlook a single corner. Haha! The man pulled out a smile like a demon from hell, so cold it made one's scalp tingle. I knew it. Myung-ho was running madly through the crowd, and desperately running through the firelight as well. In this enormous shopping mall, he was desperately searching for a passage that would get him out of here the fastest. Pain in his calves and the exhaustion of running surged up together. Myung-ho was panting heavily, but he didn't dare stop for even a second. He finally rushed to the elevator entrance, but just a second before he could get in, the doors snapped shut with a bang. Both anxious and powerless, Myung-ho pounded frantically on the elevator doors. Watching the floor numbers jump, Myung-ho realized that waiting any longer would only waste time. He immediately turned around and frantically went to look for another exit. Without that hidden service elevator, Myung-ho could only switch to the escalator. But just as he limped his way to another floor, he happened to see the man also riding the escalator, arriving on the same level. Myung-ho's face went pale in an instant, terror written clearly across it. He hurriedly shrank back behind a pillar, held his breath, and waited for the man to move farther away. The man searched floor by floor. He didn't overlook any place where a person might be hiding. Limping, Myung-ho stepped onto the stairway beside the escalator, so careful he didn't dare make a sound. At that moment, the man happened to pass by, with only a single door between them. Suddenly, with a whooshing sound, Myung-ho accidentally got tripped by a rubber hose. With a loud clang, the noise directly alerted the nearby man. The man turned back, suspicious. Myung-ho was tripped and lost his balance, his whole body tumbling down the stairs. The pain made him suck in a sharp breath. "Ow, it hurts." Just then the iron door was opened by someone. When Myung-ho looked up and saw who it was, his face instantly turned pale. He ignored the pain in his body and gritted his teeth as he ran forward. The man was in no hurry, stepping on the stairs as he closed in step by step. Myung-ho was still desperately charging forward. He kept looking back from time to check how far the man was from him, but he hadn't expected the man to already be right behind him. With a lift of his hand, the man gave him a push, and Myung-ho's foot slipped right there on the spot. Myung-ho fell hard down the stairs and lay on the ground, the pain leaving him able only to groan softly. The man's face was dark. "I gave you a chance to come and beg for my forgiveness." Myung-ho was still unconvinced. "Don't say that. What on earth is wrong with you? I paid off your debts for you, and even bought you clothes. I don't need that. You decided all of that on your own. I really can't understand. I thought we were handling this very well. I give you what you want, and you give me your company. Isn't that enough? Then why do you still want to run away?" "What do you mean, very well?" Myung-ho's voice was shaking as he forced himself to shout, "I don't dare say anything. I'm afraid you'll hit me." The man raised his hand and cut him off. "Then I just won't hit you, all right? I won't hit you anymore. Okay? I won't hit you anymore. Okay." Myung-ho's head dropped powerlessly, his voice even more hoarse. "Why can't you understand? I'm really afraid of you. I've been going along with you only because I'm afraid of you. But you keep forcing me into that kind of relationship. But have you ever asked what I think?" The man couldn't help but laugh out loud. "So what you mean is, I pay off your debts for you, let you live a life of luxury, and I still have to treat you like a person and respect you. If I let you go now, can you guarantee you'll even have enough to eat? I told you before I'll give you what you need. I'm not asking you to thank me, but can't you just be a bit more obedient? A bit more well-behaved? Obedient and well-behaved, is it? But the one who's never satisfied is you. You're always trying to make me depend on you. You give me what I need, but the things I want, you don't care about at all. You just want to make sure I can't leave you, right? Why exactly are you doing this? Why do you insist on making me depend on you?" As if his goal couldn't be spoken aloud, or as if he simply couldn't be bothered to explain, the man stared at Myung-ho, as though he wanted to see straight through him. "This is my business. Do I really have to explain something like this to you?" Trembling, afraid, furious, in pain all tangled together, Myung-ho couldn't stop shaking. "This is exactly what I'm afraid of. If I stay with you, I'll lose my mind completely. There's no point fighting about this here. Forget it, let's just go home first. Come here." The man closed in on Myung-ho step by step. Whoosh, just like that. Myung-ho grabbed the hammer he had just happened to touch earlier and swung it at the man. His back was pressed against the wall as he struggled, trying to make the man let him go. The man's patience had been worn away. "Hyung, do you really have to do this? I already told you. I'm not going to hit you. I don't believe you," Myung-ho said, swinging the hammer at the man again. Just as Myung-ho was about to land a heavy blow on the man, bang, the hammer slammed hard into the wall. At the same time, the man grabbed hold of Myung-ho, and Myung-ho toppled straight backward, completely motionless. "It's fine, I don't believe you either." It turned out the man had long been on guard against Myung-ho trying to escape, so he had already prepared in advance. "Are you a kid? This isn't how you do it, Hyung." The man called to Myung-ho in a low voice, but the Myung-ho lying on the ground didn't react at all. The man walked over and squatted in front of Myung-ho. "How long are you going to pretend to be asleep? I don't have the patience to wait for you to wake up on your own." He reached out and shook Myung-ho's shoulder, forcing him to wake up immediately. Still no reaction. The man's patience was completely exhausted. The next second, he grabbed a fistful of Myung-ho's hair and brutally yanked his head up. Splash! The man shoved Myung-ho's head straight into the water. Pinned in an iron grip, Myung-ho's whole body trembled uncontrollably. After going too long without air, Myung-ho was forced to open his mouth, and his consciousness was driven back. Splash! Another sound. The man suddenly yanked Myung-ho's head up, and only then did he manage to suck in a breath of fresh air. Cooling enough? Awake now? Myung-ho glared fiercely at the man and outright cursed him as a lunatic. "Didn't you promise you wouldn't run? I'm hurt. Ha! I'm hurt. Apologize to me." The man pressed in step by step, as if forcing a confession. Even under torture, Myung-ho still refused to bow his head. "Aren't you still carrying a stun device? Don't act like I betrayed you. Why should I apologize? Why should I apologize?" Seeing that Myung-ho just wouldn't go along with him, the man pushed him under the water again. No matter how Myung-ho struggled, he couldn't escape the man's grip. "Apologize and I'll forgive you." Myung-ho panted in pain, his throat hoarse. "Then you might as well just kill me." Myung-ho was still toughing it out. The man's gaze darkened, and he did it again just like before, repeating it once more. "Why would I let you go? You make me so happy." The man smiled in a twisted way. Myung-ho was tortured to the point of almost falling apart. "Is this still not enough to make you apologize?" Myung-ho said nothing. After being underwater too long, all he could do was cough violently in spasms. "Ha, this won't do." The man suddenly seemed to think of a new idea. As soon as he finished speaking, he grabbed Myung-ho by the collar and yanked him into the room. Myung-ho was thrown heavily onto the bed. The man picked up those soaked glasses and put them back on him. A moment ago, still dazed, Myung-ho's vision gradually cleared, and he finally woke up. "The man suddenly remembered the time when you were a university lecturer. Back then, I could only watch you from afar. But now you're here with me. Feels like a dream. As long as you behave and listen, I'll be satisfied. Today, I have to hear you say it with my own ears." Myung-ho stared at the thing in the man's hand, full of confusion and unable to stop his fear. In order to force Myung-ho to submit and make sure he wouldn't run away again, the man cruelly tortured him. The man raised his hand and tapped his own cheek, hinting, If it were me, I might be very happy and then change my mind, so as not to be tortured anymore. Myung-ho could only obediently lean in and plant a very light kiss on the man's face. The man looked delighted and raised his hand to cover that side of his cheek. That should be enough? Myung-ho was practically begging him. You haven't made me happy yet. How can you not add a little smooch sound? That's not enough. The man shamelessly argued as if he were in the right. Myung-ho was shaking with anger, yet he had no way out. All he could do was once again obediently lean in. Watching his awkward movements, the man couldn't help but burst out laughing and teased, "Are you a child?" At dawn, Myung-ho woke up in a daze. Kyung-woo was still asleep. He was holding Myung-ho tightly, unwilling to let go even in his sleep. Anyway, I can't escape now. Yeah, I can't run with this leg. Even if I got out, I'd really stand out. That's why he didn't take me to the hospital. I really can't leave this place anymore. I'm so tired. After going through this, Myung-ho no longer had that initial, desperate resolve to escape. This lunatic keeps saying things I don't understand. Does he really like me? If it's not love, then there's no reason to be this obsessed, right? Then I'll just treat it as love. If I don't think of it that way, I really can't hold on. The man was busy working at the publishing house. To kill time, Myung-ho quietly read a book at home. Without realizing it, heavy snow had already begun to fall outside. Is Mr. Kane asleep? The man lifted away the book that had been covering Myung-ho's face. They're all old movies from long ago. Why are you acting like some old man? The man complained helplessly. Ah, you're back, half asleep. Myung-ho rubbed his eyes and looked at him. Smiling, the man took out a custom-made cake he had prepared long ago. It's Christmas Eve today. Myung-ho turned his head and looked at the Christmas tree the man had set up in advance. Has Christmas already passed so long ago? How long have I been here? Myung-ho zoned out as he chewed his food. Young. The man pinched Myung-ho's chin with his fingers, making Myung-ho flinch in fright. Happy birthday. Beaming, the man stared straight at Myung-ho. Huh? Myung-ho grew even more confused. What? Did you think I wouldn't even know your birthday? Kyung-woo asked what gift Myung-ho wanted, or what he wanted to do. Nothing. It's fine even if it's expensive, just say it. Myung-ho stayed silent. Say it. After a brief silence, as if making up his mind and hesitating whether to say it out loud, Myung-ho spoke. Then, I want to go out by myself for a walk. By yourself? The man's expression instantly darkened. About an hour, just go for a random drive. No, forget it. I was just saying. Myung-ho never expected the man to agree in the first place. You have nowhere to go anyway. Why do you want to go out again? Young, it's really stifling staying at home. Do you want to go out to see someone? Myung-ho said he had no one to see. Tap. The air fell quiet again. Myung-ho said he was tired. He was going to sleep first. Kyung-woo asked him why he wasn't eating the cake. Myung-ho didn't have an appetite anymore. You eat it, don't you like sweets? The man responded flatly. Get some good rest. Do you know you talk in your sleep every night? Myung-ho froze. Sleep talk? Me? What did I say? The man didn't answer. Good night, Hyung. I'll come in after I finish cleaning up. After saying that, Myung-ho went back to his room to sleep. The man stayed alone in the living room, staring at that tightly closed door for a long time. He didn't feel like eating cake anymore either. He raised his hand and tossed the cake into the trash can. At dawn, bleary-eyed, Myung-ho rubbed his eyes. After changing his clothes, he walked into the living room. How did you sleep? There was concern in the man's voice. Look at this. The man signaled to Myung-ho with his eyes. Myung-ho walked over and took the things out of the bag. A computer? Why did you buy this? The man asked. Seeing you only read books and watch TV every day must be really boring. So he bought the computer as a birthday present. Myung-ho held the gift and stared at the man for a long time. The man felt uncomfortable under his gaze and turned his face away. If you don't want it, then forget it. Thank you, really thank you. Myung-ho's whole body relaxed. At a glance, you could tell he truly liked this gift. Myung-ho's reaction left the man completely dumbfounded on the spot. It wasn't until Myung-ho walked off into the distance with the computer in his arms that the man seemed to come to his senses a beat late. Myung-ho was different from usual today, and this, instead, ignited the man's interest. Talking as he moved closer, he wanted to get near, to be intimate. His movement was too sudden, and Myung-ho was so startled that he flinched and could only gently push him away. Then Myung-ho said he had a request. A request. After listening, Kyung-woo was clearly taken aback for a moment. The two of them put on coats and went out for a walk. As the cold wind blew, the man shivered from the cold and couldn't help complaining to Myung-ho. Isn't it nice to stay in a warm home? It's so cold outside. His hands were numb from the cold. Myung-ho looked back and saw the man's nose frozen red and almost running, and said coolly, "You're so fussy. Weren't you the one who insisted on coming along?" The man could only follow obediently, yet still asked unwillingly, "Do you really want to come out this much? Walking isn't easy for you either." "I can walk, don't worry, and I don't feel cold." Having not gone out for a long time, Myung-ho closed his eyes, as if drawing the outside air into his chest bit by bit. I don't know why, but the man instead turned his head away in discomfort. But the next second he caught up again and said in a pitiful tone, "I'm cold. Let's go back. My hands are freezing. I want to hold hands." He acted spoiled without the slightest attempt to hide it. Myung-ho listened with a completely speechless expression. Just then, the phone suddenly rang. Kyung-woo's mother called, saying she happened to be nearby and wanted Woo-kyung to come over right now. The man tried desperately to refuse, saying he would go later, but on the other end was his overbearing mother. She didn't allow him to refuse at all, wouldn't even let him finish his sentence, and directly hung up. The man cursed under his breath in anger, then put Myung-ho in the car and stuffed the card and keys into his hand as well. He told him to go straight home, while he himself had to go somewhere else. Myung-ho obediently agreed. After getting in the car, he stayed silent the whole way, not saying a single word, watching as the car drove farther and farther away, about to fade from the man's line of sight. He finally spoke in a low voice, Sir, don't go to the place we just talked about." When Kyung-woo arrived, he saw his mother leisurely getting her nails done. His mother said she wanted to convene a board meeting and hand her position over to Kyung-woo. His mother's intentions were far too obvious. She hadn't even discussed it with him and simply made the decision on her own. Woo-kyung found it hard to accept for the moment. "Mom, this won't work either. I can't possibly become chairman unless father changes his mind first." Before he could finish speaking, smack, his mother hurled something at Woo-kyung with all her strength. "So you're just going to leave it like this? Are you just going to watch your own things get snatched away by someone else? Is that how I taught you?" Kyung-woo covered the cheek that had been hit. His mother pressed down her voice coldly. "I've already arranged everything. You just need to do as I say. Do you understand?" "Got it, Mom." The man looked as if he would obediently do as he was told. Only then did his mother calm down, and her tone softened. "Good boy. Now that's more like my son." She then indicated that she had finished speaking and told Kyung-woo to go take care of his own business. "I'm back." The man, exhausted, returned home. He stared at the empty entrance. Myung-ho's shoes weren't there. "Why?" The man immediately started searching the house for Myung-ho, but no one responded. "I clearly put him in the car and sent him off. He hadn't come home yet. Ran away again." As soon as that thought appeared, the man flew into a rage and grabbed the kitchen knife on the spot. "I'll finish him. I might as well just kill him. Since he wants so badly to escape from me, I might as well just kill him." "What are you talking about? What are you doing?" Myung-ho pushed the door open and came in, just in time to see the man standing at the entrance. The man immediately hid the knife behind his back. It turned out Myung-ho had gone to the supermarket to buy groceries, and even used your card. "Are you okay?" Disgusted by how greasy the man's cooking was and unable to get used to it, Myung-ho decided he would cook for himself from then on. He looked back, somewhat puzzled. "What's wrong?" The man lost his balance and fell straight down onto the floor. He didn't know whether it was guilt or fear. He could only give an awkward laugh and say, It's nothing. Myung-ho stood in front of the stove and started preparing dinner. Looking at Myung-ho's back, he recalled what he had just done. The man raised his hand to his forehead in confusion. Why did I act like that? He had been so angry in that instant just now that he completely lost control of himself. Was it because he'd been pretending to be normal in front of his mother for so long that he was exhausted? But that still shouldn't have made him lose his mind. "It's ready, let's eat." Very soon, Myung-ho had filled the table with dishes. The man hadn't expected Myung-ho to be so good at cooking. Myung-ho explained that it was because he had lived alone for a long time. Looking at that shopping bag with the obvious logo, the man hesitated for a few seconds, then couldn't help asking Myung-ho, "Did you go to Junggang's supermarket?" "Yeah, it's very close. You didn't go anywhere else?" Still unwilling to give up, the man pressed on and asked Myung-ho, "Did you notice that right next to the supermarket is the police station? Did you see it?" Myung-ho answered truthfully, "I saw it." "Then why did you still come back? Weren't you planning to run away?" Bang. Myung-ho slammed the table hard. This topic was really killing his appetite. If you wanted to run away, even if you didn't go to the police station, as long as you had my card, you could take money and run. And then get caught by you and dragged back again? Myung-ho said helplessly, "Is that really the reason you're not running away? Didn't you say before that I have nowhere to go?" "You were right. Other than here, I really have nowhere I can go. Is it okay now?" The man was a bit dumbfounded by Myung-ho's sudden confession. He stared for a few seconds, then couldn't help but laugh. He could finally feel at ease. After they finished eating, Myung-ho stood by the sink cleaning up the dishes. At that moment, the man suddenly hugged Myung-ho from behind. "What are you doing? I still have to wash the dishes. I'm really tired today, and there was a mess at home, so I'm even more exhausted. And when I go home, I still can't see you. I'm really happy that you came back. Even if you only came back because you had nowhere else to go, it's fine. Actually, that just makes me like you more." The man tightened his arms around Myung-ho, as if stuffing his true feelings into that embrace as well. Myung-ho didn't respond. He only wanted him to let go so he could finish washing the dishes. The man promised with his mouth that he wouldn't do anything, that he was just quietly hugging Myung-ho, but his body was being very honest. Myung-ho struggled, trying to get him to let go. The man shamelessly kept acting cute and clingy, and in the tussling, Myung-ho blurted out, "Hyung." The man actually started getting handsy right away. The next day, the man groggily opened his eyes. As soon as he sat up, Hyung immediately looked around for Myung-ho's figure. But no matter how he called for Myung-ho Hyung, no one answered, and he couldn't see him anywhere in the room. The man panicked in an instant and rushed out while pulling on his pants. His foot slipped and his whole body pitched forward. Just at that moment, Myung-ho was in the middle of making breakfast. Hearing the noise, Myung-ho turned his head and glanced back, his face full of annoyance. "Why are you making a fuss so early in the morning?" After saying that, he calmly turned back again and continued making breakfast. The man stayed in his kneeling position like that, staring at Myung-ho for a long time. Yet the man acted as if nothing had happened, leisurely sipping his coffee. Looking at how unhurried he was, Myung-ho couldn't help asking, "Aren't you going to work? It's already 10 o'clock. The man looked at Myung-ho, displeased. "Why do you always ask me that? Do you want me to go to work that badly? What, you're the president and I still can't ask that." The two of them went back and forth, one sentence after another, circling around the topic and almost starting a fight. "Forget it. Drop it." Myung-ho cursed at himself for being nosy and regretted it instantly. Seeing that Myung-ho was ignoring him, the man scratched his hair in frustration. Pulling his emotions back, Myung-ho lowered his head and focused on typing at his computer, busy with his own work. Just like that, the two of them sat quietly on the sofa, neither willing to speak first. "Have some wine." The man was the first to tear through the silence, getting up to go to the wine cabinet to fetch a bottle. "Drinking in the morning? We're at home anyway, what's the problem?" The man brought over the bottle he had chosen and set it steadily on the table. Staring at the label on the bottle, Myung-ho couldn't help but murmur in awe, "30-year-old, you're drinking it too?" Myung-ho hesitated for a moment, then still nodded, deciding to have a glass. As soon as the alcohol went down, a faint blush rose on Myung-ho's cheeks. The man, looking very pleased with himself, started talking about all kinds of outrageous stories from his time studying abroad. He could even bring up things like a blonde bimbo getting slashed. Myung-ho complained outright. He hadn't even been abroad for a trip, while the man, studying overseas, did nothing but these pointless things. Kyung-woo was stunned. He hadn't expected that Myung-ho had never traveled abroad. Myung-ho said that because of his family situation, he had never even been on a plane. "You've never been on a plane? No, my God." The man was even more shocked, his eyes going wide. The man stared straight at Myung-ho. "Then you have to remember, when you fly in the future, you absolutely have to take off your shoes first. You have to take your shoes off as soon as you step through the cabin door. There's a place up top specifically for putting shoes. Just put them in there." One dared to spin nonsense with a straight face, and the other actually dared to listen to it seriously all the way through. Myung-ho couldn't help bursting out laughing. "Hey, do you really take me for an idiot?" "Haha," the man laughed too. "Haha. So you're not an idiot after all." It was such a rare, carefree moment that the two of them couldn't stop laughing. The man even laughed so hard he collapsed on the floor, completely unable to rein it in. He slapped the table and gasped for breath, and only after quite a while did he finally calm down. "Ha! Let's go traveling this summer," the man said, pushing himself upright. "Where do you want to go?" "America, New York would be fine. Or Las Vegas. How about we go lose a big bag of money, then drink a lot of booze? Do you really want to go?" Myung-ho didn't answer him directly, but instead asked, "Will you keep living with me?" "What are you talking about? Of course I will." Myung-ho lowered his head, his voice barely above a whisper. "But what if one day you get tired of me? Anyway, in our relationship right now, it's only you who loves me, one-sided. Once you're tired of me, that'll really be the end, and everything will go back to square one." The man's eyes lost focus as he stared at the drunk in front of him, not saying a word. "If that day really comes, remember to give me a bit of travel money, and I'll leave quietly." Maybe today's liquor was too strong. So strong it suddenly made people think too much. so much that their hearts ached. The drunk Myung-ho lay on the sofa, his breathing slowly evening out, and finally he fell asleep. The man just quietly watched his sleeping face like that. Back to square one? In order to stay in touch with Myung-ho, the man bought him a new phone. Work had been a bit busy lately, and he might often not be home, so he told Myung-ho, "If anything comes up, use this phone to contact me. You can contact me even if there's nothing, since I don't really have anything to do at home anyway." Got it. Myung-ho thought he was being too long-winded. By the way, I should tell you in advance, I might be starting to do translation work. As soon as he heard this, the man visibly jolted, and his expression immediately darkened. Do you really have to work? Didn't I say you don't need to do those things? If you're short on money, I can give you some. Money isn't the issue at all. Myung-ho was also starting to lose his temper. I've really had enough of these days of not working and just staying at home. It's not like I'm asking you to clock in on time. I just want to do some work at home. Can you just leave me alone? Okay? The man frowned. He could understand that staying at home all day was boring, but he still couldn't figure it out. Why did he absolutely have to work? Couldn't he just find some hobbies of his own? Myung-ho didn't understand either why Kyung-woo hated him working so much, when he himself also stayed at home all day. Only later did Myung-ho realize Kyung-woo was afraid that once he started working, he would get too absorbed in it. Even if he was at home, he might ignore him because of work. The man laid out his reasons in full, yet he still put on this wronged, awkward, and unwilling expression. Myung-ho took a deep breath and then let it out in a heavy sigh. Then how about this? Once I get my first paycheck, I'll buy you a present. The man, whose face had been dark just a moment ago, brightened at once when he heard that. A present. His eyes were full of expectation, shining brilliantly. The present is for real? You're going to give it to me? Hyung, so what are you planning to buy? What kind will you get? The man was like a completely different person from just now. He kept circling around Myung-ho, pressing him with questions. But since the job wasn't settled yet, all Myung-ho could do was tell him to wait. I'm very good at waiting. I'm really looking forward to it. The man's words sounded like they were hinting at something, but Myung-ho wasn't in the mood to think about it. Then see you tonight. I'll be home very late this evening, so don't forget to eat by yourself. Myung-ho limped away into the distance, and the man stared at his back, his brows knitting tighter and tighter. He looked like he was thinking about something, so silent it was frightening. Lately, in order to be promoted to department head, Kyung-woo had no choice but to personally attend social gatherings just to secure support. The first step was to build a good relationship with the two directors. Because Kyung-woo was the chairman's son, the two of them immediately expressed their stance. We'll definitely do everything we can to help you. Then followed a barrage of over-the-top flattery, praising him as both capable and steady, saying he was born with a natural aura of leadership. Kyung-woo only smiled politely, but his mind had long since drifted away. About my brother going to work? Can I really just leave it alone like this? Am I once again indulging Myung-ho, pushing him back to square one over and over? 5. Am I once again indulging Myung-ho, pushing him back to square one over and over, meaning that right now he's no longer at square one? Then the square one he spoke of, exactly which period of time did it refer to? Come to think of it, Kyung-woo had been staring at his phone the whole time. He thought that at the very least, Myung-ho would give him a call. At that moment, one of the directors raised his glass, intending to toast Kyung-woo, but Kyung-woo remained seated and still, as if he hadn't heard. Is something the matter? Sorry. Kyung-woo stood up and said he was going out to make a phone call. Only the two directors were left in the private room. They exchanged a glance and immediately started whispering to each other. Kyung-woo walked out of the private room and directly dialed Myung-ho. He waited a long time. Click. He thought the call had gone through and hurriedly shouted in a panic, "Hyung." But what answered him was only the cold, mechanical system prompt. On a call? With who? The furrow between Kyung-woo's brows deepened as he stared blankly at his phone for a long time. What? Novel translation. It turned out that Myung-ho was on the phone about a work assignment, even though he had applied for a programming translation job. But because the project was urgent, the company temporarily shoved a novel translation job on him as well, and even said they believed Myung-ho could do it, because he had been selected in a competition before. Myung-ho's fingertips trembled, and his whole body went rigid. That humiliating memory once again surged into his mind. No, I can't translate novels. I'm not worthy. The person on the other end told Myung-ho not to put too much pressure on himself, said they thought highly of his abilities, and in the end, Myung-ho agreed to seriously consider it. After hanging up, Myung-ho casually tossed his phone aside. Damn it. Myung-ho tipped his head back and let out a long sigh. A novel. Just then, a call came in from Kyung-woo. As soon as Myung-ho picked up, the man coldly demanded. Who were you on the phone with just now? Why was your line busy the whole time? Kyung, did you only just turn your phone on today? It was from the people giving me the translation job. We were talking about work. What's wrong with that? What do you actually want from me? Isn't it normal to be a bit late picking up the phone? What are you so worked up about? There's nothing to be so angry about. I'm begging you. I'm very tired. The man stayed silent and said nothing. What, you've got nothing to say now? Then I'm hanging up. Late at night, the man returned home and pushed open the bedroom door. Myung-ho was already asleep. The man stood by the bed, staring at Myung-ho's sleeping face for a long time. Hasn't everything already gone the way I wanted? Kyung said he wouldn't run away anymore. So why am I still so uneasy? At first I clearly thought I had completely possessed Kyung. So why am I getting more and more uneasy? So tired. So annoyed. Why is it like this? Little by little, the man fell asleep on the sofa. The man groggily woke up from the sofa. There was no blanket, and the cold air had him shivering nonstop. The man pushed himself up to sit and saw Myung-ho next to him using the computer, busy with his own work. It's freezing. Why didn't you cover me with a blanket? What are you doing? Work. There are vegetables in the fridge. Fix yourself something to eat. I still have things to do. Myung-ho didn't say another word, and the man's expression darkened as he stared at him for a long time. Only then did he go eat breakfast. While Myung-ho was busy with his own stuff, the man just lay lazily on the sofa watching TV. Every so often he would turn his head and sneak a glance at Myung-ho, like he was deliberately trying to find a chance to start a conversation with him. The man asked if he wanted a drink, saying he was too bored, and as he spoke he got up to fetch some alcohol. I happen to have a pretty good bottle of red wine here. Let's have a drink together, Kyung. The translation side was urging him hard, and afraid of delaying his work, Myung-ho refused to drink outright. But I'm off work today. Just one drink, only one. It might even help me work better. They already said no. Just then, the company happened to call. Myung-ho stood up and walked away to take the call, and in the blink of an eye went into the room. The man stared at Myung-ho closing the door, even more curious in his heart. What on earth are they talking about? He has to go into the room to make a call? The man thought. The next second, the man quietly walked up to the door. It turned out to be a reply about that previous novel translation job. Myung-ho really treasured this opportunity. I'm willing to give it a try. The man, outside the door, pressed his ear against it to eavesdrop. But I do have one concern, because I once made a very big mistake before. I'm really worried I don't deserve the chance. By deserve, you mean? Myung-ho's voice tightened. He was hesitant and afraid. He couldn't help trembling slightly, hanging his head in dejection. I once stole someone else's writing. Oh my. The person on the other end was startled at first, but quickly went on, saying that since Myung-ho could confess so honestly, then the other person added that since Myung-ho could be so honest, they would trust he would never do such a thing again. That trust and reassurance directly pushed tears to the rims of Myung-ho's eyes. When the call ended and Myung-ho opened the door, he saw the man standing right there without the slightest attempt to hide. Looks like you really care about what you did to brother Young-hoon. You actually eavesdropped on me. After doing something like that, you still want to keep working on something related to novels? Wow, you've really got a lot of nerve. Myung-ho could not understand why the man had to be so sarcastic. What was he really trying to say? Stop working. It will remind you of the past, Kyung. It's not like you have no money. It's not like you have no money. There's no need for you to do this job. The man put on a fawning face. Kyung, it really doesn't matter. Don't work anymore. I won't let you have any worries about money. Worried. The man started in again on Myung-ho, making Myung-ho angrier the more he listened. I want to do this job. As he spoke, he slapped the man's hand away. And besides, I still have to pay back the debt you repaid on my behalf. Pay it back? Why would Kyung have to pay me back? Only then can I leave you. Although I don't know when you'll get tired of this current life. At the very least, I have never thought about living like this for the rest of my life. What are you talking about? I want to live together with Kyung. You must have misunderstood. Right now, I am being kept. From the very beginning, the reason I came to you was money. There is no relationship between us, and it's not of my own will that I'm living here. Just look at my situation now. Not only is my leg crippled, I can't even go out without your permission. Apart from you, I have no social connections at all. You don't even let me work. When things are like this, what's so strange about me wanting to leave you? I want to live my own life. So Kyung also wants to live the life he wants. Is that it? A life without you? Yes. Myung-ho's tone was very firm. You want to make money, pay off your debts, and then be independent. Haha. Sorry, that's not going to happen. Haha. Sorry, no. As soon as he finished speaking, The man slammed Myung-ho down hard onto the table. Then he picked up Myung-ho's phone. He dialed back the number that had just called. "What are you doing, you lunatic?" Myung-ho struggled desperately, trying to break free from the man's grip. The call connected quickly. "Hello." Myung-ho says he doesn't want to do this anymore. "Don't contact him again." "What? You're saying your number's been blocked? I never should have bought my brother something like this." With that, he smashed the phone hard onto the ground. In an instant, it shattered completely. All Myung-ho could do was watch as the job he had managed to get with such difficulty disappeared just like that. And there on the floor was the phone, smashed to pieces. All the mental preparation Myung-ho had done beforehand collapsed completely in that moment. Despair, helplessness, hatred, they all crowded into his chest, becoming the only feelings he had right now. Do you know how much courage it took for me to decide to do this job? I've been trying so hard to understand you. I wanted to compromise with you, to give in to you, but what did I get in return? Just like you said, brother. Right now, I'm the one clinging to my brother. Things have come to this. How can I still use a word like compromise? I finally understand why I've been so uneasy lately. It's because I've been too good to my brother recently. So good that he started saying he's the one compromising with me. You can only stay by my side. So from now on, stop thinking about things like paying off your debt. You think doing this will change anything? Do you really think that one day you'll hear me say to you, "I love you"? The man was stunned on the spot by what Myung-ho said. The next second, he pretended to be relaxed again and countered, "What?" Outside, he was a president with status and influence, but in private, he was a demon with an overwhelming need for control. You think just because you cook dumplings for me every night, that makes us a thing? You think even I would be with someone like you? It's impossible for me to like you in this lifetime. You know that too, that's why you're uneasy. Isn't that right? If you're afraid I'll run away, why don't you say something? What, did I hit the nail on the head? Does it hurt now? Didn't you say it doesn't matter whether I love you or not? Then if I hate you all the time, you definitely won't care either, right? Yes, I like you, Hyung. So what? That's it? Now that you know how I feel about you, you think you can use that to control me? The man viciously grabbed Myung-ho by the collar. "Take a good look at where you are now. As long as I want to, you have to stay here." Myung-ho didn't back down either. "You think everything can go the way you want? What if I kill myself?" Myung-ho said it with utter resolve. The man was frightened by what Myung-ho said. "What? Even if you run, you'll still be caught. Then what if I'm dead? If I'm dead, can you still come and catch me? Then you can spend your days holding my corpse, hold my dead body, and do whatever you want with it. Rather than live like this, I'd rather die. What gives you the right to think I can only live with you?" The enraged man could no longer even hear what Myung-ho was saying. Endurance snapped completely. With a heavy crack, the demon's broken bottle was instantly stained with blood. It finally fell silent, and blood dripped, drop by drop, onto the top of his foot. The demon who committed the assault just stood there, ramrod straight. The walking demon just stood there like that, while Myung-ho had long since collapsed in a pool of blood, consciousness lost. Looking at the blood-soaked, lifeless Myung-ho before his eyes, the demon, in his heart, finally sank down. The man woke up, his face full of terror and fear, his voice shaking as he called out, "Hyung!" In the blink of an eye, Myung-ho was already lying in bed, and all his wounds had been bandaged. The man had specially asked someone to bring a familiar doctor to examine him. How is Myung-ho now? Is he in danger? Kyung-woo was so anxious his face turned pale. The doctor had only done simple first aid. For the specifics, he had to go to the hospital. Unable to hold back, the doctor asked how he could have been hurt so badly, and Kyung-woo immediately dodged it. "What's it to you? You can go now." Before leaving, the doctor reminded Kyung-woo again, "Don't cause a scandal and affect your inheritance." Kyung-woo looked utterly disdainful. "Doctors are talking about life lessons now too?" The doctor shot back coldly. "You've already lost your conscience. I rushed over here without even eating, and this is what I get." The doctor was furious. "Hurry up and go. Get out." The man's attitude was vile. He even lifted his foot to kick him, driving him out. The next second, a faint groan was heard, and the man's whole body jolted. He whipped his head around, suppressing his panic, and urgently asked how Myung-ho's head was, but the person on the bed was still sleeping. There was no response at all. Kyung-woo brought over a chair, sat by the bed, and kept a deathly watch over Myung-ho. Watching him remain unconscious for so long, Kyung-woo began to question himself. Why would I hurt Hyung? He asked over and over again. Why on earth would I hurt Hyung? How could I get so angry that I lost control, to the point of throwing away my rationality? Even if Myung-ho was going to leave, he shouldn't have gotten angry. because he had long known that it was impossible for Myung-ho to like him. An inexplicable pain welled up in his heart, and the more he thought, the more uneasy he felt. Yet even so, he still couldn't control his feelings for Myung-ho. Did I do something wrong? Just how am I supposed to keep Myung-ho by my side? Is it by ruining his life, or should I have been honest and confessed from the very beginning? Should I have been honest and confessed from the very beginning? If I had done that back then, I already knew what the consequences would be. Even if Myung-ho never looked me in the eye again, even if the only way I could keep him by my side was to imprison him, so what? I didn't do anything wrong. I was forced into a corner with no way out. That's the only reason I did this. At least I can still keep Myung-ho young. That brief moment of guilt just now scattered in an instant. Myung-ho raised a hand to touch his injured head. The bone-deep pain crashed down on him, and a cold sweat instantly broke out all over him. Seeing Myung-ho struggle to sit up, the man's face went pale. Are you okay? Does it hurt a lot? Are you okay? Does it hurt a lot? He immediately followed up, asking in rapid succession. At this moment, Myung-ho couldn't care about the pain. What time is it now? It's 3 p.m. What's wrong? Myung-ho had completely forgotten what had just happened and hurried to get out of bed to finish the unfinished translation. Kyung-woo reached out to stop him and told him coldly. The time had already passed. With his memory cut off, Myung-ho couldn't understand. He didn't get why Kyung-woo would say that. Suddenly, Myung-ho's pupils contracted, and the earlier images all surged back at once. Not long ago, he had still been lying collapsed in the parking lot. Now that things had come to this, all Myung-ho could do was press down his throat and let out sorrowful, muffled sobs. Seeing Myung-ho like this, the man's heart softened. If Myung-ho wanted to translate novels, then let him do it. He could also go to his publishing house. But he couldn't go out alone, and he didn't need to pay the money back anymore. Forget it. After going through this, Myung-ho's body had grown even weaker. Even his breathing seemed to be trembling. The man had no idea what was going on in Myung-ho's mind, yet he still forced him not to refuse. Myung-ho's body and mind had already been tormented to the limit. He was so exhausted he felt like he was about to fall apart. Right now, he didn't want to deal with anything. He only wanted to stay quietly by himself. After settling Myung-ho down and making sure he was lying properly, Kyung-woo softly reminded him of a few things, then turned and left the room. Leaning his back against the door panel, the man heard the muffled sobs coming from inside the room. That kind of too heartbroken crying sound still made his chest tighten slightly. Only then did he understand. Myung-ho really cares about this job. Maybe I should just go along with him? That night, the man simply sat quietly beside him, keeping watch over Myung-ho. So his joy, anger, sorrow, and happiness really do tug me along. My attachment to him has already become this strong? Why? Clearly, at the beginning, I only liked the way he cried. I kept longing to hold him in my hand and then make him cry. The man looked at Myung-ho's peacefully sleeping face, and suddenly, an image of Myung-ho breaking down and sobbing flashed through his mind. What was that? Got scared? Scared of what? Why is it that no matter how much I think about it, I still can't find the answer? Let's wait until Myung-ho recovers first. After that, if he wants to work, I'll let him work and I'll support him. If there's anything else he wants to do, I'll also try my best to support him. There were still many things they hadn't had time to say one by one before the two of them fell asleep leaning against each other. After the wound was almost healed, the two of them went to the hospital to have the stitches removed. Fortunately, there were no lasting aftereffects. On the way back, out of the corner of his eye, the man caught sight of Myung-ho raising his hand to scratch his head. He happened to see that the injured spot had left a scar. He instinctively looked away guiltily. Does the wound still hurt? The air suddenly became very stuffy. To break the silence, the man asked Myung-ho if he wanted to go eat something good. No, forget it. Is that so? Then how about going shopping? I'm a little tired. Just looking at the scenery is fine too. Is there anywhere you want to go? Myung-ho was silent for a long time before he finally spoke. No, all of his suggestions were rejected one by one. The man gripped the steering wheel so hard his knuckles turned white. There was a sharp click inside the car, and his anger was almost impossible to contain. I know you hate me, but what kind of attitude is that supposed to be now? As soon as the words left his mouth, the man suddenly grabbed Myung-ho by the throat, forcing Myung-ho to press tightly against the car door. Myung-ho couldn't catch his breath and coughed violently. He was so worried about his young, yet all he received in return was a perfunctory response. If I really saw you as my possession, I wouldn't be acting like this. The man said he was sorry, as if he were apologizing for hurting Myung-ho. He kept saying he wanted to make things right, but his tone and actions were completely the opposite. He even felt that the reason Myung-ho did all this was because he knew the man liked him, so he dared to push it. The more he thought about it, the more panicked he became, and the more he feared being rejected by Myung-ho, right up to the moment when Myung-ho was about to reach his limit. Suddenly, the man jolted awake from his dream, cold sweat instantly soaking his back. It was clearly just a dream, yet the pain of how real it felt made Kyung-woo so shaken that his skin crawled, and he could only force himself to calm down. After being rejected by Myung-ho, he really was angry, but he still forced himself to suppress his emotions. Going along with what Myung-ho wanted, the two of them simply went home to rest. After they got home, the two of them sat on the sofa and watched TV all day. No one spoke first, and the air felt oppressively heavy. The atmosphere was unbearably awkward, so Kyung-woo decided to go to sleep first. When he woke up and saw the empty space beside him, he finally realized Myung-ho hadn't slept at all. When the man came out wanting to see what was going on, he saw the drunk Myung-ho lying on the sofa, fast asleep. Kyung-woo walked over, moving very gently as he picked him up and carried him back to the bedroom. The man frowned in distress. Tap, tap. You clearly can't handle alcohol, so why do you still drink alone? After the social engagement ended, Kyung-woo was standing at the door saying goodbye to the board members and their group. The man loosened his tie so he could finally catch his breath. The evening's socializing had left him feeling heavy and drained. But as soon as he thought of that frowning face of Myung-ho's, he couldn't help asking himself, will he be drunk again tonight? At home, Myung-ho kept pouring himself drink after drink. As soon as Kyung-woo walked in, he saw that Myung-ho couldn't even stand steadily. Yet he still greeted him in a tipsy slur. It was obvious how drunk Myung-ho was, but the man's expression grew even darker. He'd lost count of how many times he had seen this scene. Lately, every time he came home from work, Myung-ho was drinking. Suppressing his emotions, Kyung-woo asked, why exactly are you drinking so much? Having dinner, obviously already drunk out of his mind. Myung-ho still forced himself to insist he wasn't drunk. Honestly, Kyung-woo was both helpless and exhausted, but he still asked him, have you eaten dinner yet? And the reason for drinking, also this drinking, was it because he wouldn't let Myung-ho work as a translator? He had long since given up on the path of writing novels. He just didn't want to watch Myung-ho fall apart like this anymore, so he wanted to go along with him. Kyung-woo made a serious promise. I can help you find a job, and I won't stop you from doing what you want to do anymore. But this time his feelings were different from before, and Myung-ho pulled out a bitter smile. I really don't want to do it anymore. What happened with Young-hoon had been stuck in his heart the whole time. He clearly knew he shouldn't be like this, but whenever he heard the word novel, his heart would start pounding so hard it hurt. Yet anyone can make mistakes. I was just too stubborn, only wanting to do what I wanted to do. I dragged the people around me into my torment, and still clung to that faint bit of talent without letting go. I was really far too self-righteous. Giving up now is actually a good thing. Listening to Myung-ho's confession, Kyung-woo didn't know how to comfort him for a moment. What he cared more about was, why did you drink so much? What, you don't like me drinking? Kyung-woo paused. I really like it, but because every time Myung-ho got drunk, he would say a lot of things to him, so in fact Kyung-woo really liked the way he was after drinking. But being drunk every day was not what Myung-ho wanted at all, because he had to face Kyung-woo every day. All Myung-ho could do was numb himself with alcohol. Only when he was drunk could he stay with Kyung-woo more. So that's why I drank. But the man misunderstood and thought that what Myung-ho wanted was to get along well with him. Really? You only did it so you could talk to me, and then, hearing this, the man got so worked up he shouted out loud, Myung-ho, Myung-ho, I want to keep talking with you. Myung-ho still found it a little hard to believe. Out in society, there really were plenty of friends on the surface, but there wasn't a single person he could speak his true feelings to. I don't trust other people. But Myung-ho was different. Pinching Myung-ho's cheek, Kyung-woo said in a low voice, with one look you can see straight through his heart. If you want to be angry, you get angry. If you want to cry, you cry. When you're in a good mood, you smile. Facing such a serious and straightforward confession from Kyung-woo, Myung-ho looked at him with drunken, hazy eyes. I need someone like you, Hyung. So Hyung, you should rely on me too. The man used, as if pushed along by the mood, the two of them just ended up together like that. The novel, Myung-ho had already given up on it long ago, and from now on, he would no longer get in the way of Kyung-woo doing what he wanted to do. Even though Myung-ho clearly knew he shouldn't, but his heart was still pounding fast. The man, having received a response, was so excited that he pulled Myung-ho into a hug. Why, Myung-ho Hyung, I want to keep talking to you. He could see right through his heart at a glance. Myung-ho Hyung, I love you." The man raised his hand and kneaded Myung-ho's ear. The two tangled together and were completely joined as one. The next day, Myung-ho woke up first, and the stinging pain all over his body reminded him of what had happened last night. But with his blackout, he couldn't remember at all what he had said, what he had done. Myung-ho turned around and looked at Kyung-woo, who was still asleep. The man still had a liquor bottle in his hand. The scene of him hurting himself flashed back in his mind again. But Kyung-woo was sleeping very soundly. It seemed he didn't have to go to work today, which meant they would have to stay together all day. Myung-ho walked back over to the liquor cabinet again. He pulled out a bottle of liquor from inside, twisted it open, and drank straight from it. He urged himself in his heart, "Get drunk quickly. If I stay sober facing that guy, I'll get beaten sooner or later." After the man finished cooking, he gently woke the still sleeping Myung-ho. As the alcohol kicked in, sharp bursts of pain throbbed through Myung-ho's head. Staggering, Myung-ho walked to the dining table and stared at the food in front of him, his face full of disgust. "What is this stuff?" The man looked completely innocent because there was nowhere to buy food right now, and he himself wasn't very good at cooking. Looking at the whole table full of greasy food, Myung-ho really had no appetite. But Kyung-woo said that this was exactly what he had eaten since he was a child. "Are you even human?" The man felt a bit embarrassed, because when he was young, he had always eaten at his mother's Western restaurant. The head chef there only knows how to make these dishes, and what he eats most often is pasta. It wasn't until after Myung-ho went to college that he first had pasta, and he couldn't help but sigh that Kyung-woo's meals were pretty good. He actually doesn't like eating it that much either, but there's no one at home to cook for him, and his mother is always busy. He'd long wanted a family member he could eat with, and fortunately now he has Myung-ho. Myung-ho rejected it outright in his heart, but all he could do was stay silent and swallow the food he didn't like, bite after bite. "How strange, who would have thought I'd end up liking you?" They started talking about their university days, and Kyung-woo's first impression of Myung-ho was rock bottom. And lots of people said that Myung-ho was a madman in the cultural creative circle, and that girls especially hated him. So what if someone is handsome? The moment he opens his mouth, his words stab like needles. So I always felt that someone like Myung-ho was very simple. If things kept going like that, no one would stay by his side. In the end, he would naturally cling to me. After all, Myung-ho is afraid of being alone. I thought I'd be able to have you wrapped around my finger soon. Myung-ho covered his face. His mind was in complete chaos. He really regretted not having drunk a bit more just now. The corners of the man's lips lifted. He smiled gently, but in the end, the one who ended up being wrapped around someone's finger was actually me. Myung-ho still kept his head down with his face covered, letting the man finish his little performance all by himself. At this moment, the man's phone buzzed and vibrated. He glanced at the caller and rejected it outright. Then he set the phone aside. Huh? Myung-ho was curious why he didn't pick up. Turns out someone had asked Kyung-woo to go drink at a nearby bar. And he didn't want to be disturbed, so he simply pretended not to see it. Speaking of bars, Myung-ho used to go often too, but that was a long time ago. Sure enough, Kyung-woo could see right through what was on Myung-ho's mind. Knowing he really wanted to go now, he went along with his expectation. Kyung-woo took him to that members-only bar he often went to. Seeing how shy and fidgety Myung-ho was, the man couldn't help teasing him. "The desire to go out is written all over your face." Myung-ho greeted the man with practiced ease. The other asked, "Same as usual?" When it was Myung-ho's turn to be asked, he was just about to say yes, but the man spoke first. "1 Jack Daniels with Coke, extra." Kyung-woo made the decision for him on his own. Myung-ho's face darkened, but he still didn't say anything. There was way too much Coke, making it too sweet. The man asked Myung-ho, "How does it feel? Isn't it better than drinking at home?" Just as Myung-ho glanced at Kyung-woo, he unintentionally caught sight of that group of people in the distance. He immediately withdrew his gaze. Clearly uncomfortable, he still forced himself to say, "Not bad." When Myung-ho looked over there once again, the people across from them were also staring over here. A few of them huddled together, lowering their voices as if they were discussing something. Myung-ho couldn't help asking Kyung-woo why they were all looking this way, but Kyung-woo just told him to ignore it. "They just think it's unusual that I actually brought a companion. This bar is members only. Everyone knows each other. Don't mind them. They'll keep to their own fun." Kyung-woo casually asked if this bar had introduced any new products recently. It just so happened there was a new one lately, so the waiter brought it out for Kyung-woo to try. Seeing that Myung-ho didn't react at all, Kyung-woo asked if he wanted something to eat, but Myung-ho was too annoyed. "I already said I don't need anything." Kyung-woo could only sigh helplessly. Then what am I supposed to do? Lately, except when I'm asleep, I'm pretty much drunk all the time. Myung-ho knew he loved to drink, but he still hoped Cha Kyung-woo could drink a little less. Irritated, Cha Kyung-woo lit a cigarette and took a hard drag. Igniting fire, a thing that can let people relax for a short while. Igniting fire, something that can let a person relax for a short while. Myung-ho still decided to try this new product that could bring pleasure. Cha Kyung-woo's gaze went unfocused as he stared almost obsessively at the person in front of him. Cha Kyung-woo leans his head lightly on Myung-ho's shoulder, the smoke curling away. Such a rare moment for the two of them to be this relaxed, this in sync. Myung-ho had originally thought he would be seeing hallucinations, but there wasn't the impact he'd imagined. On the contrary, he felt a bit happy. Still, he was a bit happy. Just then, 3 men happened to spot Cha Kyung-woo and Myung-ho at the bar. Oh, there they are. During this period, no matter how they called to get Cha Kyung-woo to come out, he never picked up. Why did he suddenly show up today? And who's that man next to him? The 3 of them whispered on the side for a long time with only one goal, to cozy up to Cha Kyung-woo, who was about to become team leader. They finally came over to say hello. Hey, Cha Kyung-woo, why haven't you been answering your phone? And who's this next to you? As soon as they walked up, the 3 of them started firing off questions like a machine gun. Cha Kyung-woo could only brush it off by saying he hadn't seen their calls, and then introduced Myung-ho as an older brother. He was very close to back in college. But Myung-ho, standing beside him, coolly undercut the story with a single line. It turned out these few men were people Cha Kyung-woo had met back when he was studying abroad, and they even put on a polite act, saying they wanted to treat him. Cha Kyung-woo used Myung-ho as an excuse, saying he'd almost had enough to drink and wanted to seize the chance to slip away home. But just then, Myung-ho happened to be in the mood and said in a light tone, "I can still drink." Myung-ho also asked them if they could order whatever they wanted to drink, which completely stunned those men. Mimi Eyes immediately tried to get chummy with Myung-ho. When he saw that pack of the new product in Myung-ho's hand, he instantly pulled out his own pack and handed it over. "Don't smoke that one. Smoke this one. It's better than that." Really? Myung-ho accepted the cigarette with a smile. Seeing all of this, the man's expression grew even darker. Whatever Frog Guy was saying, he simply couldn't take it in. To seem more familiar, Frog Guy directly put his hand on the man's shoulder. "When he gets promoted in the future, don't you dare pretend you don't know us?" Haha, the man was smiling too, but the next second, he gripped that hand hard, like a warning. "If you pretend not to know me, I'm afraid your fathers will come knocking on my door, asking me to look after their sons. When that happens, things will only get uglier." The man's words were so blunt that the 3 of them were instantly too embarrassed to say anything. They turned around and immediately went to complain to Myung-ho. "Isn't Cha Kyung-woo going too far, big bro?" "Haha, yeah, way too far." Following along, Myung-ho added a line, and the few of them instantly burst out laughing together, deliberately trying to cozy up again. Cha Kyung-woo could only stand off to the side, silently lighting a second cigarette. "Haha, seeing you from this close, you're really handsome." The flattery came one line after another, and the laughter rolled on in waves. When Cha Kyung-woo went to pay the bill, the few people who had just been pretending to be generous showed not the slightest intention of treating. The squinty-eyed guy next to him suddenly leaned in, lowered his voice, and called to Myung-ho, wanting his contact information. "I don't have a phone. Cha Kyung-woo won't buy me a phone anymore." As soon as Myung-ho said this, the squinty-eyed guy was completely stunned. Was this a joke? He quickly shoved his own backup phone into Myung-ho's hand. "We're all friends of Cha Kyung-woo. Wouldn't it be better if we were a bit closer?" Taking advantage of the moment while Myung-ho was still in a daze, Cha Kyung-woo finished paying and called for Myung-ho to leave. Back in the car, Cha Kyung-woo couldn't help complaining. Those people were like leeches, always showing up to sponge off whenever there was food. "Hyung, were you happy today?" "Yeah, it was pretty fun." Yet Cha Kyung-woo's face looked like he was about to destroy the world. Myung-ho hadn't been this happy in a long time, so he decided to let him off for now. But next time, after taking something from someone else, he'd better not just stand there giggling like that. "If you still want to keep walking on 2 legs, that is." Myung-ho could only listen quietly. The next morning, Myung-ho woke up first, sat up, and got out of bed. He looked at Cha Kyung-woo, who was still asleep. He quietly walked to the door of the room and secretly took out the phone he had gotten earlier. As for this thing that had unexpectedly fallen into his hands, Myung-ho still couldn't figure it out. Why did he accept it back then? And the result? Now he was on edge, restless and hiding. What on earth are you thinking? Could it be you still want to shake off Cha Kyung-woo? If he finds out again that I have thoughts of running away, By then, he might really kill me. I might as well just tell him directly, I received this. If I do that, he should be happy, right? I can't shake him off anyway, so I might as well go along with him. At least life might be a bit more stable. But am I really going to live like this for the rest of my life? Treading on thin ice with that lunatic every day. So what if I don't like it? What else can I do? Even if I get out of here, there's nothing I truly want to do. And no one will be waiting for me. No one. As this thought surfaced, Myung-ho suddenly remembered the message his father had sent earlier. Since they were family, Myung-ho still decided to make a call and listen to that long-lost voice. He dialed the number. It rang for a very, very long time before it was finally answered. When the familiar voice came through the receiver, Myung-ho was both surprised and excited, and had just responded when the other side fell silent again without saying anything. Panic hit Myung-ho at once. He called out, "Dad," and stammered that he was Myung-ho. "Why are you calling all of a sudden? I just wanted to ask how you've been. Didn't I text you? I remarried. Don't contact me again from now on." Beep. The call was hung up, cold and decisive. Oh, only a string of busy tones remained. Outside the door, there was a loud bang. Waking the man who was still asleep, he hurriedly pulled the door open and asked what was wrong with Myung-ho. Myung-ho was bending over, cleaning up the shattered wine bottle, red wine spreading across the floor. The man instantly flared up. "You want a drink again? Drinking first thing in the morning? Kyung, why on earth do you have to be like this?" Maybe everything from this period had pressed down too hard, and with his father's coldness on top of it, Myung-ho suddenly burst into tears in grievance because he was too alone, too lonely. Tears fell one by one, splashing onto the floor stained with red wine. In that moment, it seemed that Kyung-woo finally understood why Myung-ho always drank himself into oblivion. The two of them just stood there facing each other, and Myung-ho looked lonely and helpless. The man didn't say many comforting words. Stepping through the wine all over the floor, he walked forward step by step, slowly approaching Myung-ho. Then he gently pulled him into his arms. Maybe at this moment, a warm embrace worked better than any words. After Myung-ho fell asleep on the sofa, Kyung-woo sat beside him, quietly keeping watch over him. His hand stroked his cheek again and again. Just then, the phone he had been holding suddenly lit up, showing an incoming call. In 1 hour, he had a very important meeting. He absolutely could not be late, much less absent. Kyung-woo had originally planned to tidy up a bit and then head out. But at that moment, Myung-ho slowly woke up. Myung-ho tried to prop himself up and sit up as well. Was his body really okay? He felt completely groggy and out of it. Rubbing his eyes, Myung-ho quietly asked him if he was going to work. "I have important work to do." Kyung-woo paused. "It's fine." With his head lowered, Myung-ho said, "Don't dwell on what happened this morning. You should go." Looking at the dazed, clearly unwell Myung-ho, the man's heart tightened all at once. Was he really all right? He didn't want to leave Myung-ho alone, but today's schedule was also important. After hesitating for a few seconds, he still made a decision. Kyung-woo simply turned off his phone. "Kyung, I'll cook for you, okay?" When Myung-ho asked if he wasn't going to work, he hid the truth and said, "I can go tomorrow." Then he added in a low voice, "What do you want to eat?" Myung-ho thought about it seriously. "Doenjang soup." He paused. "Okay, I'll cook it for you." Kyung-woo looked completely confident, which surprised Myung-ho a little. "You know how to cook? Then how do you make it?" As expected, following Myung-ho's instructions, Kyung-woo first started by peeling the onions. "Peel all the skin off." Myung-ho pointed. Here." Kyung-woo handed over the peeled onion. Myung-ho came back to his senses and started chopping the onion into small pieces, then continued chopping it into small pieces. As he chopped, he explained the steps and precautions to the man. The man learned very quickly, even sounding a bit proud. "This is all? Next time I can do it myself." Kyung-woo looked at Myung-ho's quiet profile as he silently chopped the onion. With the rise and fall of the knife, he thought again of Myung-ho's sad and aggrieved expression that morning. "If I make Hyung feel lonely, he might think he has a place in my heart. But why do I also feel lonely? Did I do something wrong?" At that moment, Myung-ho suddenly couldn't control it again, and tears fell straight down. The man's expression changed. He tensed with worry. "Hyung, why are you crying? Are you feeling unwell somewhere?" Myung-ho rubbed his eyes with his hand, his expression twisted in pain. Turns out the onion was too strong, stinging his eyes. Only then did Kyung-woo realize it. He stared at him with wide eyes, then couldn't help but burst out laughing. "Hyung, you're really so cute." After saying that, he even volunteered, "I'll cut it." He turned around to take the onion from him. He hadn't expected that as soon as he started. The spiciness would make his own tears fall straight down. The two of them both kept frowning while still having to cut the onion. The scene was both pitiful and funny. Fortunately, in the end, all the ingredients went into the pot smoothly. Pop! A loud slap landed hard across Cha Kyung-woo's face. Just because he was absent yesterday, his mother flew into a rage on the spot. Cha Kyung-woo tried to explain, saying that something urgent had suddenly come up. His mother sneered. What could possibly be more important than the position of president? They had originally decided to hand that position over to that utterly worthless Cha Kyung-woo, but immediately ran into a wave of opposition from the shareholders. So for him, cultivating and recruiting was a springboard. His mother pressed him. Are you going to just stand by and watch that person's child steal your father's company? Seeing how Cha Kyung-woo had been distracted all the time at recent social gatherings, his mother stared at him and asked, "Are you seeing a woman?" Cha Kyung-woo did not flatly deny it in a forceful way, but he denied it very quickly. Even though Cha Kyung-woo denied it quickly, his mother's face was still clouded with worry, and she pushed him to start blind dates right away. That illegitimate brat could never marry any young lady of this generation. I've already picked out several families. On your side, Cha Kyung-woo cut his mother off directly, not letting her continue. He made his stance clear. He would not get married according to her arrangements. What did you say? You said before that you would marry according to your own wishes. Yet now you suddenly changed your tune, and his mother could hardly believe it for a moment. The more she thought about it, the more certain she became. There's a woman, he definitely has a woman. She reached out and poked Cha Kyung-woo's head, her tone both angry and disappointed. How can you be exactly like your father even in something like this? Cha Kyung-woo had always respected his mother. All these years, he had done almost everything according to her expectations. Even when he had real friends at school, he still went along with his mother's plan to study abroad. His mother scolded Cha Kyung-woo, asking if he was crazy. In a low voice, Cha Kyung-woo replied, "Actually, I don't want to inherit mom's company either." Cha Kyung-woo didn't like any of the things his mother arranged. He had originally thought of simply giving it all up. Cha Kyung-woo. His mother suddenly shouted sharply, and the man unconsciously flinched, as if he thought he was about to be beaten again. His mother raised her hands and cupped Cha Kyung-woo's face, telling him not to say things like that again. Absolutely not. When the woman was pregnant, her husband was living with someone else. Yet she still grit her teeth and gave birth to Cha Kyung-woo. If even Cha Kyung-woo no longer stood on her side now, then what was she supposed to do? Then mom would really have lost. It would be just like those people said, "Because of you, my life is a failure." Do you want mom to hear something like that? I'm sorry. To Cha Kyung-woo, the so-called success of his mother stirred up guilt from the bottom of his heart. Only you. Mom really has nothing but you left. You understand now, right? As for the matter of marriage, you're still young. It's fine to think about it again in the future. For now, deal with training and recruitment first, and turn around the reputation that has fallen to rock bottom. His mother has already arranged everything that comes after. Starting tomorrow, clear out your schedule. What's coming next is a tough battle. Myung-ho is still the same as ever, drinking himself dead drunk and passing out right on the sofa. As soon as Cha Kyung-woo got home, Myung-ho forced his eyes open and woke up. He handed over the hangover medicine he had specially bought for Myung-ho and reminded him very seriously, "Don't drink anymore." He actually wanted to watch over Myung-ho all day, not letting him touch alcohol, but work was really too busy. So he didn't tell Myung-ho to quit drinking right away, only made up his mind silently. For the sake of his health, at least drink less for now. Once he has some free time, he's going to make sure Myung-ho really quits. Otherwise, if this keeps up, his body will collapse sooner or later. After listening to the man nag for ages, not a single word went into Myung-ho's ears. He only tossed out coldly, "Don't bother with me. I know what I'm doing." Looking at the awful state Myung-ho was in, Cha Kyung-woo fell silent for a moment, then still stuffed a bank card into Myung-ho's hand. "If you're feeling upset, you might as well go out and get some air. Change your mood a little." Myung-ho lowered his head to look at the card in his hand, completely stunned. What was that supposed to mean? You can go buy what you want to buy, go where you want to go, but you must come home to sleep at night. Facing such permissive generosity from Cha Kyung-woo, Myung-ho didn't feel the slightest bit of delight in his heart. Because work was too busy, Cha Kyung-woo had to rush to the company immediately and would probably come back very late. Before leaving, he even asked Myung-ho if he wanted him to buy anything. "Do you want me to buy you some books?" Clearly not wanting to talk more with Cha Kyung-woo, Myung-ho lifted his hand to brush his away. "No need. I still have books I haven't finished." Yet, as if unwilling to let go, Cha Kyung-woo directly pulled Myung-ho into his arms. Leaning close to his ear, he whispered, "I'll come back as soon as I can." Once the man left, The house was once again left with only Myung-ho. He sat on the sofa, so quiet he felt stifled. Kyung-woo handed his card to Myung-ho and then went off to work. For Myung-ho, at the very least, there was nothing questionable about the fact that Kyung-woo was genuinely worried about him. Even a Myung-ho who had been forced into a desperate corner had to admit that sincerity was enough to put him at ease for a short while. So, has anything changed? Just because he got a bit of comfort from him, is he supposed to thank the very culprit who drove him into a dead end? Although he didn't know which day Kyung-woo might suddenly have a change of heart, he still had to thank him for that bit of sincerity when he was comforting him. Ha ha ha. But he still had to thank him for that bit of sincerity when he was comforting him. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Myung-ho couldn't help mocking the man's behavior, treating him like a pet, putting him wherever he pleased. He didn't have time to bother with him now, so he just tossed out one line: "Go wherever you want." What a remarkable act of kindness. Unfortunately, Myung-ho pulled out the card and threw the wallet aside. Then he reached his hand into the gap in the sofa and groped around for a while. He fished out the phone he had previously taken from Slitty Eyes and hidden away. "Contact me when you have time." As soon as he turned it on, he saw a message from Slitty Eyes. 1:36. "Very busy? Come out and have some fun." Slitty Eyes wanted to ask Myung-ho out to play, but Myung-ho didn't react at all. Irritated, he threw the phone aside as well. He continued to sprawl on the sofa, not wanting to see anyone. He couldn't even remember what he wanted to do or where he wanted to go. He just wanted to rest. The man finished getting ready and went out to work again. Before leaving, he even told Myung-ho to drink less. Lying bonelessly on the sofa, Myung-ho no longer bothered with a glass and drank straight from the bottle. The table was covered with empty bottles. How afraid Myung-ho was of loneliness was obvious at a glance. That was why he wanted to drown himself in alcohol, not leaving the slightest crack for sobriety. But no matter how much he drank, he still couldn't fall asleep. Myung-ho decided to read, using reading to kill time. As soon as he opened the book, the pages were densely packed with twisted-looking characters that instantly made him feel nauseous. Myung-ho flung the book to the floor in disgust. His whole condition was a complete wreck. What novel, what success? Why had he struggled so hard to live, only to end up like this? After saying that, Myung-ho grabbed the bottle again and kept drinking. The moment he sobered up, he would feel lonely, afraid that he would start overthinking again. Myung-ho wanted to get himself drunk before that happened. But who could have known? That wave of nausea surged up again. Myung-ho slumped straight down onto the floor, coughing so hard it hurt. Unable to suppress the nausea, he vomited up all the red wine he had just drunk. The exhaustion of body and mind piled on top of the aftereffects of the alcohol, and Myung-ho's consciousness began to drift. If he smashed the window and escaped, what would happen? Would it be easier than now? The man took out his phone and stared at the red dot on the screen. Just in case, when he had given him the card back then, the man had slipped a tracking card in along with it. The red dot didn't move at all. He knew that Myung-ho was just at home drinking. He didn't want to go out at all. He didn't have an ounce of energy. Was he really okay? No, if he went out, he might run away. This is better. He still can't be trusted now. I can't let mom be disappointed. Finish this as soon as possible. Then go back to my brother's side. Just endure a little longer. In the middle of the night, when the man came home, Myung-ho was already asleep on the sofa. Looking at Myung-ho's peacefully sleeping face, Kyung-woo reached out and gently touched his cheek. The next day when he woke up, Myung-ho rubbed his bleary eyes. He froze. How did he end up sleeping in the bed? He clearly remembered dozing off on the sofa while drinking. Myung-ho got up and looked around for any trace of the man. But in such a big house, there was no one but himself. It wasn't until he saw the quilt folded neatly on the sofa that he was certain. Kyung-woo had come back last night. Lately, the man almost never came home. Just how busy was he? Every time he only took what he needed and left. And precisely because of that, they almost never had a chance to run into each other. Myung-ho had thought that not seeing Kyung-woo would feel easier, but the loneliness only grew heavier. When was the last time he talked to someone? Anyone at all? I just want to talk to someone. Curled up alone at home, Myung-ho's head was full of dark thoughts, and he was on the verge of going insane. That feeling of loneliness and helplessness almost crushed Myung-ho to the point of collapse. Myung-ho dug out his old phone, wanting to call Kyung-woo. Even if Kyung-woo found out he had secretly kept the phone and got angry, it didn't matter. Even if all he could do was just talk to Kyung-woo. But the phone cruelly chimed with a system alert. This feeling of being locked up and suppressed was driving Myung-ho to the brink of madness. He clutched his head and lay face down on the sofa, letting out a low, pained growl. Just then, the phone suddenly rang. Myung-ho grabbed it like a lifeline and fumbled to pick up. Too eager to have someone to talk to, He called out several times in a row. Hello? Hello? Kyung. Why didn't you reply to my texts? Squinty Eyes first reported his name, said he was called Hyung-jin and that he was the owner of that phone, then asked if Myung-ho was busy. He asked again if he was bothering him. Without a moment's hesitation, Myung-ho immediately said, I'm not busy. Squinty Eyes smoothly took the chance to invite Myung-ho. Next time, when he was free, they should go out for a drink. If Hyung has a day off, when would be convenient? As if afraid of being thrown back into that room alone, Myung-ho almost answered before the other could finish speaking. I can do right now. Squinty Eyes turned his head and told the other two that Myung-ho could come over today. Then he told Myung-ho to go to the same bar where they had met last time. Not long after, Myung-ho hurried over to the private room where they were. The few of them greeted Myung-ho enthusiastically, and after arranging for him to sit down, Frog Guy took out a bottle of red wine, smiling ingratiatingly. This wine is really expensive. When I heard Hyung was coming, I ordered it specially. Squinty Eyes also took out a cigarette and handed it over. That brand from last time. You seem to like it a lot. Would he like a smoke? Myung-ho hesitated for only a second before accepting it with a smile. He had wanted one anyway. Seeing the other two fawning so much, the remaining guy refused to be outdone. He picked up a peeled apple and was about to feed it to Myung-ho, and Frog Guy immediately complained on the spot. Are you sick or what? A bit gross. But Myung-ho didn't refuse. When others poured him a drink, he drank it, and when they offered him a cigarette, he smoked it. When they fed him fruit, he opened his mouth and ate it. As if he were really enjoying it, his whole body completely relaxed. It was like he was being pulled back out of that hollow loneliness, finally showing a bit of life in him. The Frog Guy leaned in close to Myung-ho's ear and lowered his voice. Today was really the right day to come. Let's get closer from now on, too. These guys were all second-generation rich kids, and none of their family backgrounds were weak. Getting to know them couldn't hurt, except the boy who got called a second-generation rich kid immediately looked annoyed. That boy's father was an executive director at an electronics company, and the family had a chaebol background. Both his grandfather and grandmother were company presidents. When it was his turn, the Frog Guy even put on a modest act. My parents are both in politics, nothing much to say. The boy immediately complained that he was deliberately leaving out that his grandfather was the chairman. So petty. Myung-ho couldn't help exclaiming, You're all amazing. Taking the chance while pouring him a drink, the Frog Guy followed up, Hyung, what about you? What does your father do? My dad. Myung-ho thought for a moment. Seems like he's in academia? No, he should be in business. Before he could finish, the two of them started making wild guesses. Myung-ho just spat out two simple words. Farm work. The two of them froze on the spot. Farm work, as in growing crops, or something else? Could that actually be the most profitable career of all? In the past, I farmed other people's land and lived off a daily wage. Now, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm drunk, or if he's just really that simple-minded. But Myung-ho actually didn't dodge at all. Just said it straight out, even with a bit of a joking tone. No way, right? The few of them didn't dare believe it on the spot. Are you kidding us? We thought you had some really impressive background. And this is it? Their attitude changed in an instant, and with faces full of doubt they added, This is a joke, right? Seeing that Kyung-woo was especially looking after Myung-ho, the Frog Guy immediately guessed. These two must be really tight, so he went along with it and tried to curry favor, hoping Myung-ho could take them along to hang out. It had also been several days since Myung-ho last saw Kyung-woo. These guys were actually quite clear about Kyung-woo's schedule. They knew he was busy taking over his mother's position, and they also knew the board members were opposing him, but they said that as long as the family on his mother's side made a move, there basically wouldn't be any problem. They then turned back and asked Myung-ho, Haven't you heard any rumors? Myung-ho simply said he didn't know and didn't care. Seeing that the incense was about to burn out, he instead lifted his head and asked the squinty-eyed one, Got any more? You don't even know about that publishing house of Kyung-woo's? Whale Books. The name slipped out of Myung-ho's mouth instinctively. That was the place he used to sneak into. The moment this news came out, the three of them were stunned on the spot. The next second, they crowded in again, frantically flattering him, completely shameless. Looks like you really are a close friend of Woo Jin's. Oh right, about that thing with Yu-sung coming out of the board of directors, you've heard about it too, right? What? Myung-ho looked completely baffled. The three of them still wouldn't give up and kept fishing for information. They said it was something about a secret. And since Myung-ho and Kyung-woo were so close, he must have at least heard a little. They even put on a fake show of concern, saying that just a small hint from Myung-ho would be enough and they would guess the rest themselves. They didn't want to make him uncomfortable or bring him any harm. But Myung-ho really had no idea what they were asking about. Kyung-woo had never gone into detail with him about work. The private room, which had just been noisy and boisterous, suddenly turned so quiet it felt suffocating. Frogman forced out a few awkward laughs and told Myung-ho to wait a moment. They had a few words to say in private among themselves. The three of them lowered their voices and discussed in the corner of the room. Hey, could it be that he really doesn't know anything? But then Kyung-woo takes such good care of him. Didn't you notice? The moment I sat next to him, Kyung-woo was obviously annoyed. So the reason he's still protecting Myung-ho is, the three of them stopped mid-sentence and turned to stare at Myung-ho at the same time. Isn't he Kyung-woo's dad? Seriously though, one of them narrowed his eyes and looked him up and down. Look closely. He really is exactly the type Kyung-woo would go for. As soon as the words left her mouth, the three of them went straight up and cornered Myung-ho. The frog-faced guy spoke first. Hey, didn't you say your dad is a farmer? His tone was completely different from just now, and Myung-ho was clearly hesitant. The three finally tore off their disguise. From the moment you brought up farm work, we felt something was off. There's no way Kyung-woo would be on the same level as a farmer's son. Are you actually one of Kyung-woo's people or not? You're here to buy off Kyung-woo, aren't you? It was unclear whether Myung-ho was scared or just forced into tacit admission. His face went so pale it was almost white. Myung-ho didn't say a single word, which only drew harsher mockery. He actually didn't say, I'm not. Ha ha ha, that's just too ridiculous. The next second, the boy shoved Myung-ho straight into the sofa, pinning him so he couldn't move. You've been sticking by Kyung-woo's side this whole time. I actually thought you were something special. So we were being played. Someone ground their teeth. How much stuff did he just trick out of us? What do we do now? Myung-ho struggled desperately to make him let go, but it was completely useless. Hey, hand it over. The frog-faced guy sounded like he was playing around. The squinty-eyed one frowned, not understanding at all. You're going to make a move on him? But he's a guy. Phew. The frog-faced guy looked as if it was only natural. Isn't Kyung-woo a guy too? And doesn't he still know all the same? Are we really not going to do this? Take off his pants first. At Frogman's command, 5 or 6 people immediately crowded around and started groping Myung-ho all over. Pinned down so tightly, Myung-ho never imagined he would end up in such a situation. Just as he was about to be humiliated, Myung-ho clenched his teeth and struggled with all his might to break free from their restraint, forcing his way out of their encirclement. 3 people were knocked sprawling by him, and the scene instantly fell into chaos. Taking advantage of the brief opening before they could react, Myung-ho immediately seized the chance and dashed toward the door. But before he had time to open the door, the man closest to him reached out and grabbed toward Myung-ho's back. Sure enough, the man clamped a hand around Myung-ho's ankle. That familiar sharp pain shot up at once, making cold sweat break out all over Myung-ho as his body trembled uncontrollably. Caught again, Myung-ho was both furious and desperate, roaring as he struggled, forcing the man to let go. The man lifted Myung-ho's leg, and only then did he see clearly. There was a severe scar on his ankle. Enough. Completely out of patience, Frogman lowered his voice and cursed. You're almost at death's door and still can't figure out the situation? Looking like this, you still think you can pick and choose. Kyung-woo is allowed. But I'm not? What are you acting all high and mighty for? What are you pretending to be so noble for? Before the curses even stopped, his fist slammed down hard, sending waves of numbness through Myung-ho's body. Myung-ho was beaten until his face was covered in injuries. He could barely breathe, yet he was still desperately trying to explain. No cough. No, it's not like that. Not like what? Do you know how expensive the clothes you're wearing are? A farmer's son. Can you afford clothes like that? Kyung-woo bought them for you, didn't he? He's the one who told you to wear them, right? People like you trying to change your fate by sucking up to Kyung-woo. There are loads of you. Are you still going to say it's not like that? Myung-ho originally wanted to refute him, but the moment he thought of himself, wasn't that exactly why he went to find Kyung-woo in the first place? Clinging to the belief that as long as I have money, I can start over, he pushed himself step by step into the abyss. Back then, didn't he also think that, for the sake of his future, putting up with something like this was really nothing at all? He had long since trampled his self-respect into the mud. Myung-ho trembled in pain, unable to stop. Maybe there really is no way to escape, no matter what. Tears of despair streamed down Myung-ho's face as he forced the words out. It was Kyung-woo who gave it to me first. What? The frogman's rage surged up all at once. Once your heart is dead, you don't even feel like struggling. At this moment, Myung-ho was probably regretting his choice back then as well. He said he would give it to me. Is this good enough now? The frogman grinned. You bastard. You should have done this a long time ago. As he spoke, he stood up and pulled out a stack of money from his bag. He casually scattered the money in front of Myung-ho. Myung-ho let his head hang powerlessly as several men stood around him, clearly about to do something even more excessive. 3 utterly inhuman beasts were humiliating Myung-ho while laughing at his body, reveling in that cruel pleasure of crushing a person underfoot. His body and heart were being trampled together, every second stretching out like torture. Ha ha ha. Just how good is he in bed that Kyung-woo is protecting him like this? Ha ha. I really want to see. The few of them burst into laughter together. At this moment, Kyung-woo, who had just finished a meeting, was shaking hands with the board members to bid them farewell. I'll have to trouble all of you directors to help me more regarding the appointment. Chairman Ha-yoon does have an eye for talent. You're still young, but you've done wonderfully. Just keep going according to this standard from now on. Hearing the director's praise, Kyung-woo only nodded in acceptance, but in his heart he knew very well he needed this kind of recognition. Once the socializing ended, Kyung-woo collapsed into his chair, the constant tension making even breathing feel exhausting. So long, the project is finished this time. But will Mom be satisfied? Just how far do I have to go? Kyung-woo took out his phone and first saw a missed call. An unknown number. His mind went blank for a second. Was that the call? Is Myung-ho Hyung still sleeping? The next second, he saw the red location marker was not at home. This place is... He stared blankly for a few seconds before reacting. This place is... After a few seconds of daze, he realized it was that place they had gone to together before. It was the place they had gone to together before. Kyung-woo suddenly flung the door open and rushed straight out of the meeting room. That place is membership-based, right? There's no way Myung-ho could have gone alone. Then who was the person with him? Who could it be? Who is it? Who is it? He couldn't tell whether he was worried about Myung-ho or hurt by this kind of thing being done behind his back, and could only rush over like a madman. He kicked open the private room door with one swift motion, startling everyone inside who had been happily enjoying themselves. But he did not see any sign of Myung-ho. Kyung-woo kept searching, kicking open one private room after another, greeted each time only by a barrage of curses. Since he discovered their location until now, a long time has already passed. In other words, Myung-ho has also been tortured for a long time. Who got something on the couch? Was it you? It wasn't me. It really wasn't me. But it wasn't me either. While those 3 bastards were still egging each other on, trading lines back and forth, the door was suddenly kicked open, and they all turned their heads at once. They saw Kyung-woo standing in the doorway, panting heavily, his eyes filled with nothing but fury. The moment he saw Myung-ho being bullied, okay, his rationality just snapped. Cough. You Yujing, how did you suddenly show up? Swept by that devil-like, stare-you-to-death gaze of Kyung-woo, the 3 of them instantly lost the arrogance they had just shown. At that moment, the battered, bruised all over Myung-ho, who had been tormented beyond recognition, trembled as he turned his head and weakly called out once to Kyung-woo. Kyung-woo's expression looked like he was about to destroy everything, like the world would collapse in the next second and doomsday was standing at the door. That unspeakable anger and hatred instantly flooded his whole body, and his arms were shaking so hard he couldn't stop. The 3 of them blanched in fright. You Kyung, what's wrong with you? Are you mad? We're sorry. We also know you don't like other people touching your stuff. Actually, we wanted to call you over, but we were afraid you were busy. They were still trying to argue. Kyung-woo didn't say a word and bent down to grab the fire extinguisher next to him. In the next second, he suddenly swung it hard in this direction. The scene instantly exploded into a chorus of screams. Kyung-woo, what's your problem? Kyung-woo, what are you going crazy for? Kyung-woo, are you insane? Kyung-woo, have your hands gone crazy? Kyung-woo, what on earth are you trying to do? Kyung, calm down first. Let's talk this out. Talk this out. Whether it was screams or pleas, not a single word got through to Kyung-woo. He forced the frog guy into a corner, the other man's voice trembling. Why yes, it's our fault. I apologize. Don't be like this. Don't be like this. You should also think about your mother's reputation, right? Kyung, our parents from both families know each other. The man closed in step by step, speaking through gritted teeth. The frog guy backed up in growing panic, his voice shaking badly. How are you going to inherit the family business? Even if you're this ruthless, you laid a hand on me, so there's no way you're walking away unscathed. When begging for mercy didn't work, he started to threaten them. But in the end, he still couldn't escape Kyung-woo's hands, screaming in pain while shouting for help. Myung-ho leaned back on the sofa, watching with his eyes wide open as Kyung-woo took care of those 3 bastards one by one. His fists pounded into Frogman's body with a heavy, dull thud, one punch after another. Yet Kyung-woo's anger didn't subside in the slightest. Kyung-woo! Myung-ho shouted twice in a row before Kyung-woo finally turned his head to look at him. His face and hands were covered in blood. Stop! If you keep hitting him, someone's going to die. Seeing Kyung-woo on the verge of losing control, Myung-ho forced him to stop. I'm already like this, and you're still worrying about those guys? Kyung-woo just couldn't wrap his head around it. That's not what I mean. I'm really exhausted. Just take me home first. The man's eyes were bloodshot as he glared deathly at the damn bastard in front of him. Even if he killed him 10,000 times in his heart, he still couldn't swallow his rage. The bastard was still crying and begging for mercy. Hearing Myung-ho's request, Kyung-woo struggled fiercely inside, but he still let go of the hand gripping him. Kyung-woo supported the badly injured Myung-ho and took him home. From that moment on, neither of them said another word. Myung-ho, whose body and mind were both torn and exhausted, wanted to take a shower first and wash away all the filth and disgrace of the day. Suddenly, with a loud bang, the man shoved Myung-ho hard into the corner of the wall. Right after that, he pressed in, pinning Myung-ho firmly in place with both hands. Yet from beginning to end, not a trace of expression changed on Myung-ho's face. Why did you go there? Kyung-woo finally couldn't hold back and asked. Those eyes, which had been red and viciously bloodshot since just now, stared straight at Myung-ho. His expression was very heavy, filled entirely with unspoken heartache and regret. With his eyes lowered, Myung-ho directly dodged the question. Let's talk about it tomorrow. I'm too tired. As if he'd lost control, Kyung-woo shouted at Myung-ho. Answer me. How could you be with that crowd of people? Did you go looking for them? They said they'd buy me drinks, so I went. If I'd known it would turn out like this, of course I wouldn't have gone. His tone was still flat, as if he were talking about someone else. You should have run. If you'd run, how could you have ended up like this? How could you? Kyung-woo raised his voice more and more, practically roaring. The air suddenly went quiet. Myung-ho didn't respond. He just stared at Kyung-woo for a long time. Looking at how wildly Kyung-woo's emotions were fluctuating, he couldn't help but laugh instead. My God. Ever since just now, why have you been looking at me with that expression like the world is about to end? What's wrong? What's wrong? When Myung-ho suddenly asked this, Kyung-woo was completely stunned. I'm fine. Really, nothing's wrong at all. Among all the things like that I've been through, has even one of them ever been new? I saw they wanted to get rough, so I just told them I would take. Isn't this the same as usual? Just like how I gave myself to you, I gave myself to them. That's all there is to it. Stop arguing and let me sleep for a bit. How can you say that? Those people, to you, Hyung, I saw it with my own eyes. How they treated you. Hyung was, by them, I saw everything, and I took what they gave too. Myung-ho was still very calm. That's not what I mean. Kyung-woo yelled out again. Isn't it the same? How are you any different from them? You locked me up and beat me, you trampled me to the very bottom. You drove me into this kind of misery. I just didn't want to be that miserable, so I at least took one thing for myself. Aren't you doing the same thing? What's different, exactly? How are you any different from those people? Say it. When Myung-ho questioned him like this, Kyung-woo couldn't come up with a single word in response. Smack. A crisp slap landed on Myung-ho's face, and the air that had been taut just a moment ago fell into instant, deathly silence. Myung-ho couldn't help but let his tears fall as he gave a bitter smile. The sourness and pain inside, only he himself understood. It was so quiet that only their breathing remained. The hand that had struck him hung in midair, unable to be lowered for a long time. Coming back to his senses, Kyung-woo stared at his own hand, his whole body trembling uncontrollably, his face full of regret and self-blame. I'm sorry. He forced those 3 words out of his mouth over and over again. I didn't want this. I never meant to hit you. He tried to step forward to help Myung-ho up, but was shoved away. If you vented enough, then let me go. I'm sorry. It really wasn't like that. I was like I'd gone mad. Kyung-woo kept regretting it, kept apologizing, while Myung-ho had still been gritting his teeth and holding everything in. But in this moment, he completely broke down. Sorry? If you really felt sorry for me, you shouldn't have come to blame me. You know nothing at all. Yet you still asked me why I went there. Then where were you at that time? And me? When I was begging those people for mercy, do you think I felt okay inside? I ran away. I ran out with everything I had, but they grabbed me by the ankle. The pain made me collapse straight onto the floor. Was it all because of me? They asked me. Wasn't it just because of need that you were willing to be with him? Then they asked, So why can't they? And they weren't wrong either. So I accepted it. But you asked me why I didn't run. It was you who destroyed me. You who left me with nowhere to run. So what right do you have to still find it strange? What right do you have to come and condemn me? The two of them had long since cried to the point they couldn't stop. Perhaps it was Myung-ho's accusations that finally made Kyung-woo understand just how deeply everything he had done had hurt him. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm sorry, I was wrong. No matter how many times he said it, he could never finish expressing his self-blame and regret. Because I wanted to keep you by my side. Because I love you too much, Kyung. And only now do I say, I love you. If it was just pity, then I really do deserve to be pitied. But when I was lonely to the point of rotting away, even if it was only out of pity, it would have been enough if you could have stayed by my side. I always thought you were terrifying, really terrifying, but I was too lonely, too much in pain, and in the end, I was still waiting for you to come back. You're the one who made me this way, so what about you? You clearly have so many precious things, yet you threw me away like trash. You destroyed me, and the two of us are in so much pain we can't bear it. Having come to his senses, Kyung-woo wanted to grab hold of Myung-ho once more. Young Myung-ho, I was wrong. Kyung-woo reached out to support Myung-ho's cheek, his eyes filled with aching tenderness. Please look at me. I'm sorry. I'm begging you. The man pleaded in a low voice, but Myung-ho turned his face away. I'm begging you. Just look at me once. Kyung-woo knelt down in front of Myung-ho, only hoping that he would look at him just once. Could you try to love me? Try to love me, okay? At first, imprisoning Myung-ho was only so he could keep him by his side. But only now does he understand that what he has always wanted is nothing but Myung-ho's love. Kyung-woo is so heartbroken he's about to lose control, throwing himself into Myung-ho's arms and sobbing non-stop. After completely venting his emotions, Myung-ho is now once again cold, as if without a ripple. A long time passes, yet the two of them still maintain the same posture as before, and Kyung-woo is still quietly sobbing. On Myung-ho's scar-covered face, several more tear trails that are about to dry have appeared. He just lets Kyung-woo hold him like that, allowing him to cry for a while. When Myung-ho pushes Kyung-woo away to go take a shower, Kyung-woo immediately looks up and calls out to him, I want to rest now, I'm really tired. I'll wash you. I'll wash you. The two of them freeze in a stalemate at the doorway, pushing against each other for a while. Let me help you, I beg you. As Kyung-woo speaks, he raises his hand to wipe away his tears. Myung-ho turns back to look at the trembling, tearful Kyung-woo, whose voice is still choked with sobs, and in the end does not refuse. After the two of them finish washing and lie down on the bed, getting ready to sleep, Kyung-woo presses his face against Myung-ho's back, clutching his clothes with both hands, still quietly sobbing. From just now until now, he hasn't stopped for even a second, and the whole room is filled only with his sobbing. Exhausted to the limit, Myung-ho is so disturbed by the noise that he can't fall asleep no matter what. Myung-ho helplessly opens his eyes. Stop crying. My back is all wet. As soon as he finishes speaking, there's another wave of sobs. I'm sorry. No sooner has he said that than another burst of sobbing follows, and Kyung-woo's hand is still clutching Myung-ho's clothes in a death grip. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. He says it twice in a row again. Myung-ho has no choice but to let him keep crying while he himself tries to go back to sleep. In the now quiet room, only very soft sobs remain, coming in waves. The next morning, Myung-ho groggily opens his eyes. He sees Kyung-woo packing his luggage beside him and can't help asking, What are you doing? Kyung-woo looks back at Myung-ho. I was going to wake you up, and I've just about finished packing. Where are we going? Myung-ho says as he sits up. Let's go on a trip. Kyung-woo's expression is bright, but Myung-ho's is indifferent. He remains silent and doesn't respond. The weather's getting warmer and warmer. Let's go see the sea. I booked a hotel at a pretty nice place. If we leave now, before Kyung-woo can finish his sentence, Myung-ho turns his head away. I'm not going. I'm really tired. He refuses outright. Kyung-woo hadn't expected Myung-ho to refuse so bluntly. He lowered his lashes, his voice pressed very low. Actually, something happened in my family. I've been preparing to inherit my mom's company, but things aren't going well. My mom will never let go. If she finds out I'm here, she'll definitely come looking for me. It'll be a huge hassle then. A week? No, 10 days. Is it because you beat up those guys yesterday? No, Hyung. You don't have to worry about that. Got it. Let's go. After everything was said, though, Myung-ho actually cooperated very neatly. Myung-ho stood up and raised a hand to pat his sore shoulder. Kyung-woo picked up his phone and glanced at it. It was all missed calls. Before heading out, he had simply tossed his phone onto the sofa. In the blink of an eye, The two of them arrived at the Seaview Hotel they had booked in advance. The ocean was truly beautiful. As he spoke, Kyung-woo pushed open the floor-to-ceiling window and stood there looking at the sea. Hyung, come look at the ocean. Myung-ho didn't want to move. I can see it from here, but Kyung-woo eagerly grabbed him. Let's go look from the terrace. Unable to win against him, Myung-ho had no choice but to go along. Look at that little path along the shore. The way it's set up is really nice. Let's go walk there later. Myung-ho frowned. Why do we have to go out? Kyung-woo shot back with a laugh. Come on, it feels different. Ah, it really feels different. Kyung-woo kept coaxing him. Coming out to look at the scenery, doesn't it make you feel a bit better? Myung-ho still didn't respond, and Kyung-woo's expression instantly tightened as his tone turned serious. Myung-ho, Hyung, would you be willing to go live in America with me? Don't you feel it's too exhausting in Korea? And you don't like cold weather either. Let's go somewhere warm like San Diego, okay? We could also go see your favorite Statue of Liberty often. Before he could finish, Myung-ho had already turned around and gone back to the room. He walked to the fridge, took out a can of beer, hooked his finger under the tab, and was about to open it. You haven't even eaten. Why are you drinking already? Kyung-woo caught up and asked, but it was as if Myung-ho didn't hear him. He lowered his head and gulped it down mouthful by mouthful, yet the hand holding the can was trembling slightly beyond his control. Seeing that, Kyung-woo froze on the spot. The next second, he stepped forward and grabbed Myung-ho's wrist in one go. When did your hand start shaking? Myung-ho denied it immediately. My hand isn't shaking at all. Keeping his voice down, Kyung-woo said, stop drinking. Give me the beer. Myung-ho bit down stubbornly and wouldn't let go. I'll just finish this can. Kyung-woo grew more anxious. If you're thirsty, drink water. Give it to me now. The two of them started tussling right there on the spot. Myung-ho was driven into a rage. Why are you suddenly acting crazy? Let go. Let go. Overwhelmed by anger, he shouted at Kyung-woo, completely losing control. Kyung-woo had no choice but to release his grip and let him keep drinking. Myung-ho cursed under his breath and shook him off, walking away. Kyung-woo's face was expressionless as he stood there without moving. After the quarrel, Myung-ho completely let himself go, downing can after can with barely a pause, drinking from daylight straight through to dusk. While Myung-ho was burying his head in drinking out on the terrace, Kyung-woo simply sat quietly on the sofa, saying nothing, just watching him. That night, he was still staring at the sleeping Myung-ho. In the dark of night, Myung-ho slept soundly. Kyung-woo reached out his hand and stroked his cheek over and over again. But Myung-ho suddenly spoke, his voice very low. Do you like it that much? How long are you planning to keep touching me? Huh? Kyung-woo froze. Sorry, I thought you were asleep. Myung-ho looked at him. Why aren't you sleeping yet? Kyung-woo paused. It's just, I was a bit worried about you, Hyung, so I asked. You're not thinking about something awful, are you? I hope you'll tell me what's really on your mind. Only then can I help you. The next second, Myung-ho suddenly flipped over and sat up, pinning Kyung-woo beneath him. Let's do it. Myung-ho moved so suddenly that Kyung-woo's whole body went rigid, his reaction half a beat slow. Myung-ho, Hyung, wait a second. Before Kyung-woo could finish speaking, Myung-ho cupped his face in both hands and kissed him directly. They only parted after kissing for a long time, and the breath they had been holding was suddenly released. Both of them were panting hard. Myung-ho, Hyung. Kyung-woo's cheeks were burning. Kyung-woo's cheeks flushed red. Seeing that Myung-ho was about to go on, he hurriedly spoke up. Wait a second, Hyung. Kyung-woo grabbed Myung-ho's hand, forcibly stopping his next move. Why are you suddenly like this? Kyung-woo was both curious and confused. Haven't I always been like this? Or is it that you're thinking this? What you've always treasured has already fallen into someone else's hands. So now, it's already dirty. Kyung-woo had just let out a what? And before he could finish, his mouth was covered by Myung-ho's raised hand, a bit overbearing. So be good, and don't move around. Kyung-woo could only lie there obediently, just letting Myung-ho do whatever he wanted. Go, Myung-ho. Kyung-woo called him in a low voice. The two of them drew closer and closer, the heat rising layer by layer. Kyung-woo softly called again. Myung-ho, a little more. This is so good. Kyung-woo rested his head against Myung-ho's shoulder in contentment. After the pleasure faded, only quiet remained. He leaned against Myung-ho, listening to his heartbeat. Kyung-woo lifted his head and asked Myung-ho for a kiss. Myung-ho lowered his eyes to glance at him, his tone light. This is far enough. He raised his hand to cover Kyung-woo's mouth and pushed him away. Just this once. Kyung-woo pleaded with a hint of coquettishness. It's enough to go this far, let's go to sleep. Myung-ho had already lost interest, but Kyung-woo still refused to give up. Hyung, I'm begging you, don't push me away. Right now, I can't be without you. Yet hearing such a serious confession from Kyung-woo didn't stir Myung-ho's emotions at all. Why? He calmly asked, why do you have to like me of all people? When Kyung-woo was asked this, for a moment he couldn't answer. I don't know, he said, resting his head back on Myung-ho's shoulder, awkwardly shifting his gaze away. Myung-ho didn't chase after him again, and the air grew a little quieter. Kyung-woo went on. I just like you the way you are, Hyung. No matter what it is, you always tell me the truth. Whether it's liking or hating something, you show it right away. Hyung, you never hide anything. When I talked about flying before, even though you knew I was joking, you still laughed. But then you'd also say, for real, that it really wasn't funny. Only after living with you, Hyung, did I understand what real happiness is. Looking back, I was always desperately living just for the sake of being needed by people who don't love me. Even so, I never once thought about turning back. Right then, the phone I'd left at home was still vibrating nonstop, buzzing away. Why did it get so tangled up to that extent? Thinking about it now, I was probably just too lonely. That's why I acted like that. From now on, I don't want any of that anymore. I love you, Myung-ho Hyung. I'll spend my whole life loving you. I'm begging you, please accept me. Please become the reason I go on living. I want to live with you, Hyung. Pouring out everything in his heart with complete sincerity, laying bare all his love for Myung-ho. From beginning to end, there was not the slightest change in Myung-ho's expression. No response, but no rejection either. Myung-ho Hyung, is that okay? Whatever you want. Just 3 words, clean and unadorned. But to Kyung-woo, this wasn't a rejection. Filled with love that was about to overflow, Kyung-woo leaned in once again. In the middle of the night, when drowsiness is at its heaviest, the two people were asleep, facing each other. As they slept, they looked so quiet, so soft. But Myung-ho, who should have been in a dream, suddenly opened his eyes. Afraid of waking Kyung-woo, he moved very gently and slowly as he sat up. There wasn't a trace of light in his eyes, and his expression was so calm it was chilling. He rose up on his tiptoes, quietly getting ready to step out of bed. Just as he was about to leave, he realized that the hem of his clothes was being clutched tightly in Kyung-woo's hand, as if he were afraid Myung-ho would go. Kyung-woo had originally been quietly watching Myung-ho's sleeping face, and before he knew it, time had slipped by. Now it was reversed. It became Myung-ho quietly watching Kyung-woo's sleeping face. Don't hold on to me, Myung-ho murmured in a very soft voice. Right now, I don't want to be held by you. The so-called meaning of living on, as you put it. Then what do you want me to do? Everything is ruined. I can't even find the meaning of my being alive anymore. Myung-ho suddenly yanked back the hem of his clothes that was being grabbed by Kyung-woo. He left him there alone, remaining in his deep sleep. Myung-ho walked to the door, and in his heart, he said a final farewell to Kyung-woo. No matter what, thank you. I finally made up my mind now. He reached out and opened the door. Myung-ho turned his head back again, looking at the person who had made him go through everything. At least now he knew that there was still someone in this world who had once loved him. That breath he'd been holding finally eased a little. Creak. The door was pushed open again, leaving only a thin gap, and a beam of light seeped in through the darkness. Kyung-woo, sleeping, was startled awake and called out softly with unease, Myung-ho Hyung? Myung-ho. Do-na called twice in a row. Myung-ho. Hearing someone call his name, Myung-ho jolted awake. He sat up and grabbed the person in front of him, his whole body shaking in panic. Do-na? Jean Do-na? Myung-ho asked again and again to make sure. It really was the person he thought of day and night, and he was so shocked he could hardly believe it. Myung-ho's exaggerated reaction made Do-na laugh. What's wrong? Still not fully awake? The meal's ready. Get up. I made the soup you love. Everything in front of him felt real. It was as if he had gone back to the old days, before all the humiliation, when he still had his lover by his side. Myung-ho couldn't help but burst into tears. It had been far too hard getting to this day. Myung-ho hugged Do-na tightly and let himself sob in pain, crying out all the grievances and suffering he had suppressed for so long. While Do-na was busy in the kitchen, Myung-ho looked around, quietly checking the layout of the place. This was the studio apartment where Myung-ho had lived with Do-na ever since he started university. Do-na carefully carried over a bowl of steaming hot vegetable soup, her eyes bright as she said happily, "It seems like it turned out especially delicious today." Do-na was a junior Myung-ho had met in a university culture club. She was his first girlfriend, and also Myung-ho's first love. Seeing that Myung-ho was still spacing out, Do-na couldn't help but worry and asked, What's wrong? Are you feeling unwell somewhere? Oh no. Only then did Myung-ho come back to his senses, his voice a bit soft. It's just that I haven't seen you for so long. So you're happy? What are you talking about? You're acting really strange today. Haven't we always been living together? Living together? We've been together since university. So of course we've always lived together. You didn't forget? Did you? But the more certain Do-na sounded, the more confused Myung-ho felt. He raised his hand to press his temples. Really? I can't remember anything about the past at all. Do-na just smiled. Did you sleep too long or something? The soup's going to get cold. Hurry and eat. The food in front of him smelled so good, and everything felt so real. Myung-ho pushed down that bit of doubt, and his chest finally loosened. So that's how it is. So this is what reality really is. Chun Do-na and I are together. Do-na took big gulps of the vegetable soup she'd made. The taste so good she couldn't help praising herself. With skills like mine, I could open a restaurant. Seeing her eat with such appetite and confidence, Myung-ho couldn't help but smile along with her. But why do I still feel that something is off inside? Your cooking is very good, HM? Do-na paused and looked at him in confusion. Back in college, you clearly didn't know how to cook.